everyone shouldn't tune in. This is on Zoom, and remove that young guy Joshua, so-called Israelites, from your messages. So when everyone get on, we gotta let them know that they gotta do a new stream because certain people need to be removed. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the last call when he got on, he used that damn name Yahuwah again, even after we told him the name of the Most High's name. You know, so I pay attention to everything. I noticed he used that name again on the last call that he actually tuned into. Shalom, Va. We'll wait and see if some more people tune in. So basically oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, if you want to Yashabum, you could actually go ahead and start it off. You already know what it is. So this is actually a warning about adultery with women, with Jezebel spirits, and the Whoredom of men that claim to be teaching women that's married. So the first thing that we want to say is that if a woman's married, you shouldn't be teaching that woman. You understand? No man should be teaching that woman if a woman is married. You know what I mean? That's her husband's responsibility. And if that husband is if he's not well versed in the scriptures and so on and so forth, then he's supposed to come around the Akim and he learn those precepts and he teach his own wife. Under no circumstance is another man supposed to be teaching your wife. She's not supposed to be on YouTube watching some other man or something like that unless you give approval of it, because that will cause problems in your home, because you might have a certain doctrine that the husband's not teaching. And so by doing that, she's causing a problem in her home. You understand what I'm saying? So that's out, man. No, that should not be going on in anyone's home. And if you're doing that, if you're a man, you know what I mean, and you're doing this with some woman that's married, then your spirit is off, man. You shouldn't be doing it. That's madness, and it shouldn't be going down, man. So you got something, Yashabun? Go ahead and bring up.
Khan, I was just going to bring up 2 Peter 2:14. Go ahead and get that.
So I'm going to go ahead and allow some more people in the room here. But you see this going on in Israel a lot, man. Brothers that know that women are married. I don't know if you saw the video that I was made this morning. I was telling sisters, you shouldn't be watching Taza Dark if you're, you married, you got a husband, unless your husband approve of it. You know what I mean? I might be saying something your husband don't even agree with. You see what I'm saying? So that spirit is off, man. Or a single sister, that's a whole different story. But if you know a woman is married and you're trying to, I'm gonna teach her some precepts, that's off as hell, man. The Lord knows what's going on there. And I see men all of the time. Oh yeah, I'm gonna I'm go some precepts with her and so on and so forth. And then sisters tell me stories about the damn man end up sending her image of his penis and things of that nature, man. But we got some wicked people in Israel, man. Wicked, man. But that's what it is, man.
If by now, with all the videos we've been putting out about protecting ourselves against whoredom, whoremongerism, so to speak, and adultery, we're just going to go ahead and solidify the fact, because we got leadership out here in our nation that's basically, ravaging other men's wives, and we don't want to go ahead. We don't want to, be part of that, especially with the signs of the times and everything that's going on. The Lord's return is greatly and moving swift with much haste upon us. You know what I'm saying? So we need to dang on get right. But the first piece I was going to bring out was 2 Peter 2:14. And basically, this right here warns you of not only other folks, but especially yourself, looking yourself. So 2 Peter 2:14.
I mean, I'll read that for you if you need a reader. I'm trying to edit something. Or can someone else read for the brother? Because I'm trying to edit this video on YouTube. Hey, Shaw, could you read that for him, good brother? Man, Dietrich. What's going on with you, King?
Shalom. What's good, King?
Good. What's going on, man?
All right.
Shalom, Yashabam.
Can
Shabbat
someone get
shalom,
that
brother.
precept for him, man?
You said 2 Peter 3 and 14.
2 and 14.
This book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 14. Having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, and heart that have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children.
See that? So you got having eyes full of adultery, and your eyes is coming from within your heart. It's coming from the spirit and the soul of your own mind. All right. And it says, go ahead and read that again for me.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 14. Having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin.
Cannot cease from sin. How many times have we put out videos and FOPE put out videos trying to call these brothers that's been taking advantage of other men's wives to repentance? And not one time that we know of just yet have they done that. You see what I'm saying? And that just shows that once you get into a habit of doing something, against the Most High, that thing is a stronghold on you. Because as we just read, and cannot cease from sin. We already know what that is. We already know what the results of that is, should I say. And you got beguiling unstable souls. So we already know, based on many witnesses, you know what I'm saying, folks that are brand new to the truth, who are really sincere and looking for leadership and wanting to seek out, the Most High to sincerely better themselves in Him, says beguiling unstable souls. An unstable soul is equivalent to a babe. And Most High, Yahweh Shah already said, anyone who lays a finger on a child, death is going to be onto you. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the next part. It says the heart, they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children. All right. Go ahead and read verse 15 for me. 2 Peter 2 and 15.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 15. Can you hear me?
Khan.
Which have forsaken the right way, and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Boser, who loved the wages of unrighteousness.
Khan. So, hey, can anybody let me know what is the wage of unrighteousness? No matter what it is, what is the wage of unrighteousness?
Death.
Death.
The wages of sin is death. It's Romans 6.
Wages of sin is death. Death. And the first death is always separation from the Most High. You see what I'm saying? So how can one love death? To even associate love with the wages of unrighteousness, because we all know, God is love, but that's folks that take near onto that which they know is wrong. See what I'm saying? So we're not talking about some folks that don't know any better. We got I think it's in Galatians 5 and 19. Someone grab that right quick. Galatians 5 and 19.
This book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 19. Now the workers of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies,
Keep going.
envyings. Is that it says this is on the Old English, murderers.
Murderers.
Yeah, it says murderers. Murderers, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh.
Khan, that's good. So love and death, you know, and doing it so much to the fact that you cannot stop. We already know where you headed. We already know what the, you know, what's coming for you in the path on which you're so greatly are headed toward. How can someone in their right mind ever think that there's going to be any kind of mercy and grace if nobody on this list or that commits any of these things on this list? It says right here, shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. See what I'm saying? So again, for all the Zaboks and the Zaboks alike, you know, they I don't even feel sorry for them. You know what I'm saying? Because for someone to been in truth that long and to sway as many folks, to curse as many households, and to curse as many, you know, when we're supposed to be protectors of women. You know what I'm saying? And which is even more, or something else that's beyond me. I remember reading something that said that when you commit adultery, you destroy your own soul. What precept is that? Destroy your own. Anybody know what that was at? I think that was Proverbs. I think it's somewhere in Proverbs.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to that. When you finish, I'm gonna bring out some precepts. I'm gonna bring out some. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we need to do, you know, as men of the Most High, those who want to follow righteousness, we need to be able to guard ourselves. All right. And part of us guarding ourselves is us wearing, you know, the whole armor of the Most High. And you can't be weak. If you weak-minded, if you falling for anything, you know what I'm saying? If you falling for anything, any type of batting of the eyes, you know what I'm saying, or soft and pleasant words from a woman or from a man, or, you know, if you all are taken by the physical appearance of a woman, there's no way you can be pleasing. There's no way that the Most High can use you. So whatever it is you got to do, from now until he comes, you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind right. Whatever it is that you're weak in, you got to get your mind right, because we already know that the beginning of sin, it came from the woman.
I just want to say something real quick. I want you guys to think about this, right? I want you to look at the people that's on the call right now, right? Now, I want you to put this in the context that it's the Lord's Shabbat. First of all, they should be in their house studying the Bible, right? Next, it's the Lord's Shabbat. They shouldn't be working. And on top of that, you on a lockdown. You on a COVID-19 lockdown. So how is it that you don't have everybody on this call? You see what I'm saying? That speaks volumes right there. But go ahead, Art. We only got 8 people on the call, man. Out of about 37 people, you got 8 people on the call. Now, what is it saying about these people, man? And it's not like they can't sit in and get the message up, because I put it in the text message. You see what I'm saying? I put it in the text message. And even the people that can't respond, they got it. How did Yeshaya know? You see what I'm saying? How did Yeshaya get here on time? You see what I'm saying? So they got it. And some people, if they have their phone set up like mine, it's actually, you know what I mean? It'll pop right up on your phone, even if you're on your phone, if you got the notifications there. You dig?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just showing you how people really are, man. And I want to say this, man. A lot of women, let me tell you this. A lot of women want to be taught by sisters, but a lot of sisters are not qualified to teach. And I don't mean that by insulting, like my wife. She's not qualified to teach other women. She don't have her stuff together yet. You understand what I'm saying? In order for you to teach another sister, you got to first clean up your own house. The Lord says that even about the men. He says, set that house in order. Does not the Lord say, how can a man teach the church when he can't govern his own house? The same thing goes for the woman. She can't teach other sisters until she's doing what her husband says in compliance with Ephesians 5:22 through 24. Understand that. See, a lot of these Eves, they get together and it's a damn clique of women and it's witchcraft. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord tells you that they need a covering. But your covering can't come from another man. It needs to come from your husband. It has to come from your husband. So a lot of these women around here like that, sister that came to my channel and then scoffing, come on, man. Those kind of spirits be off, man. And so that's the dangers of, this is why the Lord said to lead of my people and men. You could see it because they were getting their emotion and they really think they're coming through the spirit of the Most High. That is not the spirit of the Lord, man. First of all, if you come in with the spirit of the Lord, any kind of sisters that's doing video, she's going to say this is for sisters only. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, what are you doing? You're trying to teach man what the Lord is against. So you got to try this spirit, man. And this is why I be telling my wife, you don't just befriend women, right? Because their sisters, she don't listen. She learns the hard way every time. I said, you got to try that spirit. And so, before I get home yesterday, she responded to the message because I wasn't going to respond to it. I don't give negative energy attention. You dig what I'm saying? That's what they want. A lot of people will come to my platform to try and build themselves a platform. I don't cater to that. I just let that go. I don't say nothing. So sometimes you got to have a discernment.
I am Tariq Mack.
Join the meeting.
Is it Wolf even responded to that? And in most cases, it's not, man. So you got to try these spirits, man. People that try and come across as righteous, you study them, huh? You study them. You sit back and you start, well, he's doing this, he's over here, he's over there. You don't want to deal with that kind of person, man. How we going to build something? This man's over here, that man's over there. Come on, man. You're not really building with us, right? That's why the Lord said it's only a small remnant, man. It's only going to be a small remnant, man. We seen people come and go, man. Like a revolving door, man. People like, yeah, I want to be a part of T-Dot. We like, all right, we're going to watch you, man, because we already seen it before. You see what I'm saying? But the real people that's trying to build, you already know how we operating in the background, man. Because we've been putting something aside. And when this whole COVID thing passed, we're in a good position. This is going to work out from a positive measure for T-Dot, right? Because real estate and everything's going down. You see what I'm saying? So it had to be the spirit on us, right? And so as soon as this thing passed, boom, we jumping on it. Yeah, we want that right there. And so me, my man Richard, and Yashabum are putting money up every week. And I've been stacking that bread. You see what I'm saying? So when this thing moves, we're going to be ready to make moves, man. So we already know who's real. We already know who's real, man. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm going to just keep it a buck. It's only 3 of us that's really been given. Yeshaya gave, once, but on a regular, it's just me, you, Richard. Just really been putting in the, you know what I mean? Just really been getting, Richard's really been given a lot. So even though he's not here, he's doing work in the background, man. Don't always judge by appearance. You dig what I'm saying? Don't always judge by appearance, man. But go ahead, Up.
Con. Next precept I was going to bring out was Sirach 25:2. So for those of us that believe in the Most High power, especially those that's been in the truth for a minute, why position ourselves to be the tail? I'm gonna ask you that. Why position yourself to be in the tail? You're gonna get in enough mess. You're gonna make enough mistakes. And I tell my sons this all the time on trying to do the right thing and figure out what's right. You're gonna make enough mistakes in this world. That's how the Most High set up, because anytime you got a supposed so-called failure, you're supposed to learn from that and grow. A righteous man falls 7 times, and gets back up. Now that's for honest, and that's an honest and sincere man of the Most High who's actually trying to do the right thing. But for someone who is purposely going to do the wrong thing, unfortunately, there's nothing left for you but death. And Sirach 25:2. Can someone bring that out? Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 25:2. I got you. Someone go ahead and grab 1 Corinthians 6:9. But Ecclesiasticus 25:2, and it reads, 3 sorts of men my soul hateth. I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud. Doesn't make any sense. A rich man that is a liar. And an old adulterer that doteth.
A what?
An old adulterer.
That's an old fool right there. That's an old fool. Yeah, I mean, you would anticipate that, not that it's justified if the man's young, but that's an old fool right there. Because you know the punishment for adultery, man, is death.
And again, right now we got, folks in leadership positions or set themselves in leadership doing unrighteous things on purpose. So we already know where they're going if they don't come out and and repent amongst the people and make things right and step down. And Tazak's been going hard, on that, and we all should be doing the same thing. So go hard, bring out that which is not right and just correct it. That's real love. You know what I'm saying? Anybody
now we gotta, if I could just interject, King, just 30 seconds, right? You got to remember this, right? I say this all of the time, right? I study psychology, I study the scriptures, and I put it all together, right? A woman is designed to receive a man. A woman is designed to receive a man, right? And so knowing thus, that means the man can't do anything unless he rape her, unless she opens up. So a woman, the way she's designed mentally and physically, she's designed to receive that man. That's why she have a cavity between her leg. She's designed to receive him physically and mentally, right? So no matter how much game he kicks or whatever, she doesn't want to do it, it's not going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to point blame back at them. That's the way that this world is set up. They set it up like it's a natural paradigm. The average man is a simp, and he keeps trying to impress the woman. So she makes a decision whether or not she's going to lay with her. You understand? So we got to go in on that. But go ahead.
Con. So another precept that lines up with Galatians 5:19, you got 1 Corinthians chapter 6, and that's verse 9. Yep, verse 9 and 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9 and 10.
Yeah, I'll get these precepts for you in a second, man, when I pull up my sword.
Book 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? Be not deceived, neither fornicator, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh.
There we go.
Hey, Slakia, a clean like linen. Put your email in the room, then I'll give you the Zoom link. Put your email address in the room, because it doesn't work the same way that it works on StreamYard. We're on Zoom today. Go ahead, Slakia.
Khan Shabbat Shalom, Ak Richard. But so you got Galatians. Shabbat Shalom. You got Galatians 5:19, and Yahweh Shah's words himself mirrors that same precept in Matthew 15, 19 and 20, and also in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. You got Apostle Paul who brings that out. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 9 and 10. So it says it, you know what I'm saying, all over the New Testament for you so-called Christians out there on how we should be conducting ourselves. But we all know, that's not really what goes on. And
it's a lot. That young sister, damn, what's her name? Kimberly. I'm not sure why you don't get the email, because I sent that out in a mass email and you was dead. So I'm not really sure why you're not really on the call. Like, you really shouldn't be on YouTube. Like, people of the camp, you really should actually be in the room. So let's try to reach out to her. Yashabun was on the call. She didn't pick up. I mean, I don't get it. What else could you be doing on the Lord's Shabbat? We can't really take people like this serious, man. And I'm a straight shooter, man. If I see some foulness in you, I'm gonna call you out. Because I'm not here to be like, man. I don't give a damn who don't like me, man. You know what I mean? Because you can't preach to me if you can't feed me. You dig? So, but I mean, if you're gonna try and come off like you want to be a righteous person, then you got to do that, man. You gotta do righteously, man, and you're gonna exhibit righteous acts. But oh yeah, you just want to be a member of something, just to be part of that clique, man. This is about salvation, like, hey, man. Real talk. Go ahead, Al.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
That's Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32. But whoso committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
Yep, that's what it was. Khan, you destroy your own soul. Then you have Yahweh Shah speaking, again about we all know the wages of sin is death, but specifically adultery, in the Old Testament, you get stoned. I think that's in Exodus chapter 20 and 14, Leviticus 20 and 10. Can someone go ahead and grab each one of those? Leviticus 20 and 10 and Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. So back when, we got pulled out of Egypt from, in Moses' time, and those 10 commandments came down, you know what I'm saying? There were a lot of spirits on our nation, if anyone had read that whole story. So there was a lot that Moses and Joshua was dealing with amongst the people while going through the wilderness for them dang on 40 years. And one of those was, fornication and adultery, and that's why, it came with the bill of divorce, because folks were being so stubborn and they were wicked. And that's the only reason why it was allowed. But anybody got that? Leviticus 20 and 10, Exodus.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Khan. I'm gonna go ahead and someone go ahead and bring out. See, yeah, that mirrors Matthew 5 and 25 and 28. When Yahweh Shah was speaking about, we know what it says about adulterers, what is written about adulterers. So yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and get that one. And then someone be ready with that Exodus 20 and 14. So Matthew 5.
Again, clean like linen. Put your email in the room, so I can actually send you the link to Zoom. People that's in T-Dot, you really should be on this side of the coin. I'm not really there on the Zoom or whatever. But I'll let me make clean like linen. Moderator. All right. I got out. My bad.
Hey, you got Quantus email?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him for a long time, man. So I had took him off, man. Remember, this dude haven't showed up for months, man.
Yeah, he just texted me, or he
I
might have put it.
I see him in the room now, man.
Gotcha.
He's been like ghost, man. I mean, you like disappeared for months, man. Come on, man. We haven't heard, and I kept them in the group, man. I can't. How can you take people like that serious, man? The dude disappeared literally for months, man. I don't know what's going on, but I know he could have reached out, unless he'd been locked up. You know what I mean? He ain't have no jack. He could have reached out and say, yo, man, come on, man. Just keep it real, man. I'm from the streets, man. I was in the streets before I came into this, man. And I know how people get down, man. But, you could forward it to him, huh? If you look at one of the old streams, you could forward it to him.
Yeah.
I'm about to send it to Reginald, man. I haven't seen Quantus in a long time, man. I see him in the room right there. And the sister, I'm not sure. Kimberly, I'm not sure you're not getting the emails.
So you gotta, well, you gotta take care of that. But like Mark just read about Leviticus 20 and 10. So the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. All right. And that mirrors, and I said something about Matthew 5 and 28. It's actually 5 and 27 and 28. And 5 and 27 reads, it says, ye have heard that which was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. Mark Yeshai just got finished reading that. Now,
So we again stop. We need the people on T-Dot. We want you in the room because we might want to ask you questions and so on and so forth. We can't do that when you're on YouTube. You got Miracles Happen. She's over there. You got K8 Seymour. She's over there. Your pa, she's over there because she be running the room. I just made we need at least 2 or 3 moderators because people be getting crazy. I just put Clean Like Linen over there as a moderator, but yeah, man, we need some feedback, but that's what it is. Go ahead. My bag for keep interrupting you, man. But yeah, man, we got to get this together, man, for real.
Yeah, I don't understand what the issue is either. I mean,
hey, Corners, check your email. I just sent it to you and Reginald. But I think people purposely go to YouTube so they won't talk, man. That's that funny style, like Dillette, right? Funny style. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you shame to talk, man. What you gonna do when you on that line, man? Have to talk to the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? Funny style cats. I'm serious, Zadok, man. I think they go over there, man. They don't want to show my face, man. I want to talk, man. For real, man.
All right, but hey, so for everybody that's on the call, folks out there in YouTube, if you are sincere about your relationship with the Most High, you know what I'm saying, and you actually making positive changes in the right direction, specifically for the men, you know what I'm saying, and you become productive, you working on your career, you working on yourself, and you doing your thing. Women are going to be.
Hey, Salakia. One of the sisters, can you try and call Celicia again? See, people be talking that talk, man. And then, we got Bibles, and they don't know the precepts, by the way. They don't know the scriptures, right? And they should be learning, but they don't even be showing up when we do a Bible study. Most of the times, we've been kind of like, skipping over this. You know what I mean? We generally do this every Tuesday night and every Shabbat, right?
Yeah.
I've been going so crazy on YouTube talking about this coronavirus thing. We haven't even been doing this regularly like we typically do. We typically do this 2 times a week. So one of the sisters, can you try and reach out to Celicia?
Yeah, Richard, maybe your wife can do it, or Nasha, I see you on the call. Go ahead and
your pa could do it. Your pa could do it.
Okay. Yeah.
You should be able to reach out to her.
Because we tried to call her earlier to be able to reach out to another sister, and it won't that much earlier. You're talking about like 2:30 or something like that, and Shane pick up. So
yeah, we try and call her because we didn't want to call that sister Kimberly directly. But we couldn't reach her. So we left Kimberly a voicemail. And then when I went in back, my rib was already talking to her. Just trying to talk to everyone to fill them out, man.
And just so everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? Like this right here, the teachings that's the Most High's love on your life. You got to be able to accept that. You got to be ready. You got to be willing to accept that when it comes your way. Well, it's in the form of correction or doing these Shabbat lessons, especially if you don't know the precepts. You know what I'm saying? And based on my experience, man, when you are truly sincere, you're going to come across folks that aren't, but especially for the men, if you're working on yourself, you're working on, on increasing your knowledge, you're working on your career, trying to be productive, you know what I'm saying? You're staying busy, you're hitting some goals, you're working on your temple, all types of females are going to be coming at you. And we just read a whole bunch of precepts, on what happens to those that are, messes with another man's wife, so it's going to happen, meaning somebody is going to cross your path. The Most High is going to allow you to be put in a position where you're going to have to choose. And this is a choice that we have to make every day. You can't just, do it once. Oh, why me? Oh man, dang, yeah, she looking real good. That's carnal, which is why we got to stay in these precepts and you got to stay in these teachings as every chance that you get, and don't just listen to it once. And when you write, and you should, write it down too, because writing helps you remember stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if you have anything to share for those of us that are in T-Dot, really teaching is another way of studying. It helps you remember. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to that precept in Leviticus 20 and 10, Yeshaya. And Dietrich, you got your sword on you? If you do, could you go ahead and get that Exodus 20 and 14? So let me get that Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10.
You said Exodus 20 and 14?
Khan.
All right, reading from the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 14. Which one you want first?
I want that Leviticus Leviticus 20 and 10 first.
Someone got that?
Book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Khan. And I'm going to go ahead and bring out Matthew 5 and 27. Then we're going to go to the Exodus 20 and 14. But right here in Matthew chapter 5, verse 27 and 28, Yahushua himself is actually referring to Leviticus 20 and 10, or one of the many that says about if you commit adultery with another man's wife, you shall surely be put to death. And it reads, Matthew 5 and 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. All right. Now your heart is not that which is in your chest. It's in the spirit of your soul. You know what I'm saying? It's in your mind and your intellect. And those, that's where all your imaginations and stuff come from. So if you're going to guard yourself against that, and, we push this all the time here at T-Dot, you got to dang on get your mind right. Go ahead and get that Exodus 20 and 14 out.
Yeah, I want to speak on that for a second, right? Because the Matthew 5 and 25, that's what you read, right? What was that precept you just read? Matthew 5 and 25?
Matthew 5, 27 and 28.
Matthew 5 and 27, right? So when Hamashiach, the Savior, says the man that looks upon a woman has already committed adultery in his heart, right? So now, right, that doesn't mean that you literally, because now we live in a whole different paradigm, right? Social media bring women right into your bedroom. Social media bring women right into your home, right? Now, if you're on social media, right, and you claiming you teaching another man's woman, that's off as hell, right? If that woman's married, you're not to be teaching her. You're not to be dealing with her. If she's married, you go and teach her husband. You understand what I'm saying? If you want her to know precept, you teach her husband, because you know what you're coming with? You're coming with demons. You dig what I'm saying? You're coming with demons, because what you're doing is you're using the precepts as an excuse to try and get close to that woman. You try. I know the game, man. I'm telling you, man. I've been dealing with women since I was 14, man. You understand? So I understand women. I was sleeping with women that was way older than me when I was a young dude. So I studied them. I studied my cousins. And it's hard to get one over on me, King. I don't care if they lie. It's hard to get one over on me, because I'm not one of those dudes that just something happens. I study and say, damn, I analyze it. Why did this happen? Why did she do this? Why is she behaving like that? You have to analyze your woman like that, man. And I'm talking to all of you men that's married, right? You got to study her, man. Study her characteristics, man. How is she behaving? You see what I'm saying? And if certain behaviors start to like alter, you start to see new men pop up on her social medias, check that woman, man. But why, if you're her covering, why does she have those other men on her social media? That's how you tell, that's how you could tell if you rocking with a Proverbs woman or you rocking with a Jezebel. And if she get upset when you're trying to check her, I don't mean to break, well, I'm not gonna lie, yes I do. I need to break up your home because it's not happy, because she's gonna cheat on you. You're dealing with a Jezebel. You understand what I'm saying? Because a woman that a woman that truly loves a man, she's going to try and do things that he say to cater to him. She's going to try and convince him, I'm not interested in anyone else but you. Because when a woman is truly in love with a man, her eyes are closed to other men. I'm just giving you the game, man. Yeah, I'm giving you the game, man. Her eyes are closed to other men. She's not going to be interested in it. And you could tell, man, how a woman interacts. If a man says something, because women know when men flirt with them. You feel me? I'm just using common sense right now. She knows it. And if she doesn't want that man to flirt with her, she's going to make that clear, right? If a man is flirting with a woman or something like that, and she just play it off and act like she didn't hear it, watch that woman. She's wicked. I don't care how much scripture she reads or whatever. That's a wicked Eve right there. She got a Jezebel spirit on her, because a real woman is going to check his behind. Listen, I'm married. I don't want to deal with it. And she would say it in a way to project her message. I know what a woman is trying to BS me. Sometimes Eve will just tell you, yeah, I'm married. She's just trying to watch your reaction. You know what I mean? She's letting you know that she's married. Like, yeah, I'm ready to commit adultery. You see what I'm saying? But I just want to let you know I'm married, so you could be my side piece. I'm giving you the game, man. If you don't listen to it, it's gonna go over your head. I'm telling you, man. I know it. I'm talking some street stuff now, because when you've been in the streets and you come into the truth, it's difficult for someone to pull one over on you, man. But a lot of Eves are like that. That's why you gotta watch your woman, man. You watch your woman, man. If she got a problem doing things that you, because a true woman with the Spirit of the Lord on, she's commanded to listen to her husband, precept after precept. She got a problem with that, you might start want to look for another woman, man. Real talk. She can't come out of that worldliness, because that's not her natural nature, man. Her natural nature is to be submissive to a man, but she's not going to be submissive to a simp. So, I mean, if you're a simp, you got to check yourself. You got to check yourself, man.
God, it's just a matter of time.
Right. It's just a matter of time, man. It's just a matter of time, man. You can like that, understand it, believe it or not, man. You can like that, understand it, believe it or not. And so the precept that he brought out, Matthew 5:27, that adultery and all that, most of that occurs on social media now. So if your woman's always on social media in the middle of the night, man, something's going on, man. I hate to bust your bubble. Take it from me. Something's going on. If you're a strong man, you're gonna dead that. You're gonna dead that. Because I'm a kind of dude, man. Yeah, I mean, I believe in my Bible, but I also believe in my gun. You heard me say it before. But if you want to get on some jail stuff, you know what it is, Dietrich. I believe in my shank also. You know what I mean? I believe in my ice pick also, man. You know what I mean? That's what it is, man. I'll become like the damn Rikers Island ninja. And you know what ninjas do. Go ahead.
In silence. Hey, so I mean, we've already read, the precepts about the adulteress going to receive death. Who do you think that's going to come from? We done read a precept about, whoever lays with another man's wife lack understanding, destroys his own soul. Where do you think that destruction is going to come from? Which means, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, a husband has a right to protect his property, because a woman is his possession. His wife is his possession. And it is also symbolic to a strong city if she treated him right at a time, and he's under that impression that he has a real good thing. That's also a strong city. So what a man's going to do, when it comes to his strong city, he's going to protect it. He's going to defend it. And if it gets offended,
I got a precept
he's going to avenge it.
Yeah, I got a precept, because the scriptures to the back everything up with a precept. You said something about a woman being his possession. Reading from the book of Sirach 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, a pillar of rest. That's crystal clear to me, man. That means when you go home, your woman is supposed to, you know, you've been had a hard day, Dietrich. You've been on that working, you're doing a lot of hard labor. Your woman is supposed to be like you. When you finally hit that pillow, you lay down and rest. Like, ah. Is it like that? Nah, you better check that home. Go ahead, Op.
Con. So any real man, not talking about a simp man, talking about a man after the Most High's own heart, similar to David, and we all know David was a man of war. You know what I'm saying? He protects that which belongs to him, and he protects his possession. You know what I'm saying? And he does it. He basically lays your life on the line for it. So if you're gonna go ahead and lay with another man's wife, you subject to death by that man and justified by the Most High. So why in the world, Zabak and you other brothers out there, would you place yourself in a position to be literally a wanted man by the Most High? Come on now. Come on now. Really? You really think you got enough in you or enough folks around you or big enough guns to protect yourself from a legion of men? I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. What else? Yeah, so
Exodus 20 and 14.
Exodus 20 and 14.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Shall not. That was yeah, we all know during the Exodus. The next one, we got Job 24. What was it 24 and 14? Let me go ahead and bring that out. Yeah, man, this thing is, and so yeah, someone gonna grab 24 and 14, but basically where I was getting that from is that if you're truly after the Most High's own heart, you sincere, you are going to be tested. You are going to be tested. Women are going to come up to you and they're going to be extremely forward. You know what I'm saying? It for me, in my line of work, it happens every day. You got to be able to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? You got to not only because the Most High said it, but I mean there are warnings in there on repercussions of that. We're gonna get to more of that later.
We say Job 24 and 14.
24 and 15. 24 and 15.
Reading from the book of Job, chapter 24, verse 15. The eye also of the adulterer waiteth for the twilight. That means it waits until, they always doing things in secret. The twilight is just before dawn, saying, right, no eye shall see me, and disguiseth his face. You see what I'm saying? They creeping.
The telly, twilight.
They going to the telly in the twilight.
Matter of fact, you put that out there a couple of videos ago that, you only get hit up between a certain time. You already know what it is.
Yep.
So that's another sign. That's the other side of that coin. You know what I'm saying? Since social media does bring that to the forefront, as far as if you look upon a woman and lust after her, you already committed adultery with her. If a woman only communicates with you during a certain time of the night, you already know what it is. She already got somebody else. Come on now, put two and two together. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say this, right? Because a lot of guys don't know it. And I'm going to tell you, man, a lot of Israelite men that be on the streets acting real tough, they're simps. But a lot of these men, they're adulterers, right? They just haven't gotten caught. You just don't know about them, right? A man that's dealing with another man's wife, teaching her precepts, he's not supposed to do that, man. He's not supposed to be doing that, man. Your woman, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you how your house is supposed to be ran in a godly way, right? She shouldn't be on damn YouTube, Instagram, none of that, watching another man if she's married to you, unless you agree to watch it for a biblical lesson. You understand what I'm saying? She in there alone, she might start to like the man. You dig what I'm saying?
John,
I'm gonna hit you with something, man. 10 to 15% of children are being raised by men who think that they're the biological father, but they are not. You see what I'm saying? In the age of birth control, right? In the age of abortion, right? And the fact that only a small percentage of acts of unprotected intercourse results in pregnancy, right? Now imagine how big the percentage of women probably is, right? That you raising a baby you think is yours, not even yours. Can you test? Can you actually trust any statistics, right? Because only a few women admit that what Moravy Povich say, you're not the father. You see what I'm saying? You are the father. You see what I'm saying? You can't trust that, man. Very few women, I'm hitting something, Kings. Very few women that actually committed adultery on you will admit that they did it. You might be raising another man's baby right now, man. You understand? And there are several reasons why women commit adultery, right? And their partners don't know anything about it sometimes, right? But did you know about 50% of women are guilty of that, man? How do you know how loyal the woman you're with is? What? And so, yeah, I mean, I was doing a video this morning about some of the most common signs, right? To tell you whether that woman's committing adultery, right? One of the primary things is she's going to change her appearance, right? When you're courting a woman, or if you've been married to this woman for a while, and you know what I mean, she was looking real good when you first met her, but after you went for a while, she don't fix herself up. The only time she fixes herself up, and when she's going out, if you're alpha, you're gonna question that. You don't look like that for me. Why you gotta fix yourself up to go out? And she tell you you're too controlling, you're too jealous. Dead that. You dig? Dead that. If you've been with her for a while, and it seems like she don't try and impress you anymore, you know what I mean? She don't try and look nice for you anymore. It's something wrong, King. There's something wrong, right? And she's committing adultery on you, right? That's what's going on, man. Your relationship lost the intimacy. She's committing adultery, man. And when you're done, I'm going to bring out some precepts. There's imperative about this whole adultery thing, and we're going to break them down.
So just go ahead and I'm about on the tail end anyway of protecting yourself against adultery. You know what I'm saying? Getting your mind right. It is very imperative that you stay in the precepts. Because even though as innocent as it may, start out, you gotta have these you gotta have certain precepts at the forefront of your mind, so that way when it rubber meets the road and you're tempted, or someone comes across you to see if you're going to entertain her, you got to be able to see it, man. In my line of work, I sell stuff, to upbuild a home, and the ratio for women to men, is there's way more of them than it is of us. And folks going to throw their shot, and I surprise a lot of females out there, because they see me and they're like, I can't believe it. Nah, shut it down. Hey, I think I need to find some work for you to do. Nah, let me talk to your man. Oh, well, I ain't got a man. Well, I ain't got no work, that you need to be done. You need to call your brother. If someone come at you wrong from the beginning, don't even entertain it, even if there's a monetary gain, because all it is a trap. You know what I'm saying? All it is a trap. And for those that are married, then they ain't gonna have any issue with having their husband contact you. Especially if you're pushing this truth. I come into contact with a lot of business owners, a lot of folks that do investors, Airbnb, and things like that. And usually, it is the woman. I've made contacts, and I don't even speak to them no more. I'm only in contact, with the husband. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to, dealing with things, with business, clearing out land, and so on and so forth. And that's how when a woman's doing the right thing. But for those that got an issue with being put in their place, those that got an issue with putting you in contact with the husband so that way, you know, you can take care of some kind of business. It wasn't right from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So continue to stay in these precepts, you know, especially during this time when we got all this COVID-19 and stuff up. Stay on your herbs, boost your immune system, work on your body, you know what I'm saying, at home. And again, the more you do this, the more you do it with sincerity, you know, onto the Most High, your body is going to take shape. Your attitude is going to change because you're going to be speaking that which is written only. And you're going to continue to be tested every single day. And you got to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And you need to put yourself in that mindset now. And I always use my sons as an example, but this is the type of stuff that I put out there to them. You know, I got a teenager. I'm like, listen, you're gonna get attention. You know, if you're doing the right thing, folks are gonna be attracted to you. It don't matter what your shoes look like, or who's the name on your shoes, the name on your pants, the name on your shirt or your jacket. The way you carry yourself, folks are gonna be drawn to you. I've been grooming him like this since he was about 8, and long and behold, you know, get stories all the time around a dinner table when, you know, things happen. So much the more for those of us that are already physically men, we need to get our minds right and get that caught up. That's all I got.
All right. So yeah. Hey, Quantas, I just sent you the email. I don't know if your email changed, but that's the second time I just like emailed you. So yeah, let's start with what's the warning signs of adultery according to the Bible? We're going to use the Bible, right? So let's go to the book of Proverbs, 5th chapter. You're going to start reading at verse 1. So I'm going to get that. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 1. Let's see the warning signs of adultery. What to look for? How to know if your woman's lying, right? Well, what signs and how do you know if the dude is wicked? He's trying to push up on your rib, right? Book of Proverbs, 5, verse 1.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 1. My son, attend unto my wisdom.
Okay, stop. So Solomon is talking to his son. He's saying, pay attention to my wisdom. Read on.
And bow thine ear to my understanding.
That means listen. Bend your ear. Read on.
That thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge.
So he's saying, be careful to use good sense, or so that you might keep discreet. Read on.
For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb.
And watch what you say, right? Your lips might protect knowledge, right? Go ahead, read.
And her mouth is smoother than oil.
So he's saying the words of another man's wife. He used that word, strange woman. What he's really saying is the words of another man's wife. A strange woman in this case is the words of another man's wife. The lips of an immoral woman, the lips of a strange woman, another man's wife, might seem sweet, but drip like honey, right? They drip like honey, right? It might seem sweet. They drip like honey. Her tongue might seem sweet, right? But they're smoother than olive oil. They're smoother than olive oil. Just luring you in. She knows just what to say to lure you in. And she's married to someone else. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 4. But her end is bitter as wormwood.
Her end will bring you to sorrow like a bitter wormwood. Read on.
Sharp as a two-edged sword.
Causing you pain, man, like a double-edged sword. Causing you excruciating pain. You know, you be having that pain in the end, be like, damn, she married. You such a simp, you done fell in love with her. Then her husband's coming at you with that ratchet. Go ahead.
Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell.
Come on. So her steps go down to the grave. Shaul. She goes down to the grave. Her steps are straight ahead, right? Taking you right down to the grave. Shaul. You know.
Lest thou should have pondered the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them.
What verse are you on? Verse 6?
Verse 6.
Yeah. So that means she gives little thought to her path of life. She's not really thinking about what she does. She doesn't even know that her ways are wrong. Why? Because this is Jezebel. You don't understand a demon is operating on this woman. You think she's operating from her own accord, but she got a demon on her. So her paths wander and she does not even realize it. She thinks it's okay. We dealing with people's spirits right here, family. Go ahead, King.
Come, verse 7. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth.
So he said, listen to me, my sons. Who is he talking to? He's talking to men. He's not talking to women. He's saying, now, my sons, listen to me and don't ignore what I'm saying. Read on.
Remove thy way far from her. And
he said, stand away far. He said, stay far away from such a woman, man. Keep far from her path. Men fall in it all of the time, man.
Remove thy way far from her and come not nigh the door of her house.
Don't even go near the door. Don't even go near the entrance to the door to her house, man. Because you're going to get death, man. First thing you're going to get is a spiritual death. And a spiritual death is separation from the Most High. Go ahead, King.
Lest thou give thine honor unto others and thy years unto the cruel.
Right. Or you would give your riches, your honor to others. And the best years of your life will be given to someone cruel, to a wicked woman. You thought that she was righteous. She might not even told you that she was married. And if you're in the truth, that's double punishment into you. Because you can't even deal with her until her husband is dead. Go ahead, read on.
Lest thou give, no, Salakia. Verse 10, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth.
Yeah, that means strangers, because this woman brought you to ruin. Strangers are going to enjoy your wealth. They're going to sap on your strength. And what you work hard for, you're going to give it to someone else, right? Because it ends up in someone else's house, in a foreigner's house, because she's a married woman. You understand? Go ahead, King.
And thy labors be in the house of a stranger.
What, you thought you had a prize? You thought you had a prize? Man. Nah, man, you got tricked, man. You was a simp. You was a simp, man, acting simple. Go ahead, up.
And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof?
What precept are you on now?
That's
18?
verse 12.
Oh, all right. Oh, so I mean, basically what he's saying that then you would say, I hated being told what to do. You hated instructions. You hated discipline. You didn't want to hear it when we was trying to warn you. You wouldn't listen. My heart despised corruption. Your heart despised correction. You didn't want to be corrected. I would not listen to my teachers. What it says in verse 13. Go ahead, King.
And I have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me.
I would not extend my heart to my instructors, is what he's saying.
I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly.
See, I came close to being completely ruined. By what? Completely ruined by what? A wicked woman. This whole chapter, you probably never read it like this before, but this whole chapter is about dealing with an adulterous woman.
God.
Understand that. Understand that. Read.
Verse 15, drink waters out of thine own cistern.
Stop. What does that mean? That means be faithful to your own wife. Be with your own wife. Drink water from your own well. Someone get me the song of Solomon's 4 verse 10. We're gonna hold on to that. Song of Solomon's 4 verse 10. Let's prove that. You better drink from your own well. You better stay with your own woman. You mess with another man's wife. You better get your own wife. Song of Solomon's 4 verse 10 through 15.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Wasn't that what TLC said?
Con. That's what they doing. They chasing waterfalls, man.
Stick to the rivers and lakes you used to.
Song of Solomon's 4 verse 10. Someone got that?
Con.
Well, where's my man Craig at, man?
I don't see him on the call yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen him around for a minute, man. He been in and out now, man.
Con.
Hopefully he's
Song
all
of
right.
Solomon, chapter 4, verse 10 through 15, and it reads, how fair is thy love, my sister, my spouse. How much better is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ointments than all spices. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb.
See, Solomon, he told him his own wife. He said, my spouse. You understand? Yeah, you can stop right there. Let's go back to Proverbs. Yeah, so I mean, you gotta have your own wife, man. You don't want to mess with another man's wife. All these women out here, you can't get your own. You're a wicked Negro, man. You lusting for another man's woman, man.
Con, verse 16, chapter Proverbs 5, verse 16. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets.
Con, don't pour your water in the streets. Let your fountains burst forth outside. Don't give your love to just any women, man. You better listen, man, or you're gonna be looking like mud. Don't pour your water in the streets, meaning let your fountains burst outside abroad, meaning laying down with any woman, right? Don't give your love to just any woman. You're out there, you're a simp. Oh yeah, but I love her. Streams of water in the public squares. Don't do it. Okay, go ahead, King.
Verse 17, let them be only thine own.
Right.
And
Things are yours alone, right? And they
God,
shouldn't be shared with stranger. That means your woman, your wife is supposed to be yours alone, and she's not to be shared with strangers, with other men.
says, let them be only thine own and not strangers with thee. Verse 18.
Right. Some people so damn crazy. You having a damn threesome. Our people are wicked, man. Okay.
Says, let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
Let
Verse
thy
19.
fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let thy fountains be blessed and rejoice with the wife of. So I mean, and the reason he's saying that, that our wives, when you deal with antiquity and ancient Israelite history, our wives was actually selected for us when we was young. It wasn't like it is today, man. And so that's why he's saying the wife of your youth. You understand? The wife of your youth. It's saying be happy with the wife you married when you was young. Rejoice in the wife of your youth. She gives you joy as your fountains give you water, is what he said. May your springs be blessed, is what he said. Okay.
Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe.
She's a lovely deer. She's a lovely deer, a graceful doe, is what he's saying.
Let her breast satisfy thee at all times.
Love her. Love her breast. Let it always make you happy. Let her love always hold you captive. Is what he's trying to tell you, man. Be satisfied with your wife, man.
God,
You know what I mean?
be thou ravish always with her love.
You shouldn't be. So he's saying, why should you be intoxicated? Why should you be inebriated by a woman who takes part in adultery? So I'm saying this to all of you under the sounds of our voice right now. Why would you be intoxicated or inebriated with a woman who takes part in adultery, meaning a strange woman, another man's wife, so that you could understand? Don't fondle the bosom of a woman who is not your wife, is what he's saying, who's a stranger. So you can't say you don't understand it, because we're breaking it down precept by precept. Go ahead, read on.
Con. You want me to go down to verse 21? You just
Yeah,
did
we're going down to 23.
Con. For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord.
So that means a lot of people misconstrue that. What that scripture is saying is the Lord sees everything. The Lord sees everything that you do. The eyes of the Lord are on the path of every person on this earth. So if you've been doing this, the Lord already saw you, man. The Lord see you. And judgment is coming to you, man. The Lord sees everything you do, and he watches everywhere you go, all of your ways.
And he pondereth all his goings.
And an evil man will be caught, meaning he's going to be captured in his wicked ways. He ponder all of his doing. So that means an evil man will be caught.
Verse 22. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins.
Con. So when it's saying his own iniquities, it's talking about he would die because he does not control himself. He doesn't have discipline. He doesn't follow instructions, and he will be held captive or intoxicated or inebriated by foolishness, by stupidity. That's what a foolish man does, man. That's a fool right there. Did you read earlier about an old fool? Now, this is the kind of man that it's talking about, right? Now let's go to the 6th chapter, man. Well, we're gonna go into the dangers of being foolish. Men that think they could go out and teach other men's wives, and there's no folly in it, and think that it's okay.
Talking about chapter 6, verse 1.
Proverbs 6, verse 1.
Con. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thine hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth.
And then this is for all you fools, man. You loan something to your so-called brother, he don't pay you back. Now that's written in old Quaker English. What Solomon is saying, he said, my son, be careful about giving. You know what I mean? If you make a guarantee for somebody else's loan, for your neighbor. I talk about this, man, being a surety for someone else, about promising to pay what someone else owes, is what he's saying. Shaking hands with a stranger in an agreement. He says, don't do that, man. He warns you about that in Proverbs 11 and 15, Proverbs 17 and 18, Proverbs 20 and 16, Proverbs 22 and 26, and Proverbs 27 and 13. Okay, read on.
Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself.
You might get trapped by what you say. Do it now, or you might get trapped by what you say. You might get trapped by what you say. You might be caught by your own words on what you say. You know.
When thou art come into the hand of thy friend, go, humble thyself, and make sure thy friend. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids.
What verse are you on?
Verse 4.
All right, so verse 3, he's basically saying, if you've done this, then you're under your neighbor's control. Here's how to get free. And he starts telling you how to get free in verse 4. So he's saying if you took the responsibility, you made yourself a surety for someone else, this is how you break free. Read verse 4 again.
Verse 4 is, give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids.
Don't go to sleep. Don't let your eyes sleep or even rest your eyes. Let your eyes Be awake. Stay alert. Okay.
Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard.
Hold on. I want to break down every precept here. I was letting Mikael in the room here. Trying to let Mikael in. Well, we was on verse 4. He was saying, don't go to sleep. Let your eyes rest, and so on and so forth. He was down to verse 5. He said, but extricate yourself like a deer, like a gazelle, right? Running from a hunter, right? Meaning you're running from the hands of this person that might be trying to chop you up, like a bird flying away from a trapper. So he's saying to get the heck out of that situation. Get away from it quick. Verse 6.
Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise.
So he's saying, go watch the ants, you lazy person. A sluggard person is a lazy person. So he said, go and watch the ants, you sluggard, right? You lazy person. Watch what they do. Watch the ants' path and be wise, right? Okay, read.
Which having no guide or overseer or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest.
So he's saying, Solomon is saying that an ant doesn't have no commander. An ant doesn't have any leader. An ant doesn't have any ruler. But they store up their food in the summer, and they gather their supplies, meaning their provisions, at harvest. We try and teach people that all the time. Do they do it? Nope. They come up with excuses. They don't want to be like the ant. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Go ahead, King.
How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard?
Yeah, how long will you lay there, lazy person? How long will your lazy person lay there and keep making excuses? Read. When will you get up from sleep, in other words, is what that thing's saying.
Gone.
Remember I told that guy the rock? I called him a sluggard. I told him he's supposed to be taking care. Oh, that dude went buck wild, man.
Oh yeah, he went off.
True spirit came up. I said, yo, man, your wife is taking care of you. That's a problem that you having. He went buck wild. And the truth cuts like that. That's Hebrews, man. It tells you the truth will cut deep like that, man. Man, who you calling? Now, if he's willing. Damn, dude, I ain't seen this demon before. Who the hell is that? Legion? Got it.
That's exactly what it seemed like. Verse 10. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man.
So he's saying you sleep a little, you take a nap, a little sleep, a little slumber. You fold your hands, right? You know, you folding your arms to do what? You folding your arms to lie down and rest. You don't want to work. You don't want to provide for your family. You just a little sleep, a little slumber. You folding your arms. Nah, I think I'm going to watch the game. Nah, I ain't going to do nothing. Sluggard, man. Oh, sluggard. Somebody need to put an ant in front of them. Someone should put a thing of ants in his damn bed. See if he'll get up there.
Fire ants.
The big red ants, man. God, man.
Verse 11. Oh, Con. Verse 11. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Verse 12.
So what it's saying when it says, so shall thy poverty come, it's saying you will be like someone that's been robbed. You're going to be like a poor person. Poverty will come on you like a robber, like someone robbed you. You will have as little as if you've actually been held up by someone. You know what I mean? It's going to be like someone robbed you. So shall thy poverty come. Okay, read verse 12.
Verse 12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth.
Some people are wicked and no good. worthless and guilty. They go around telling lies, walking forward with a forward mouth, a crooked mouth. You know,
He winketh with his eyes.
he winking with his eyes. He winking at your wife, Yashabun. You at the bowling alley, he winking at your wife. Winking with his eyes. Tapping with his feet. Impatient. Damn, I'm glad when this Negro leaves so I could get his wife's attention.
Speaking with his feet.
It's all right here in the scriptures, man. Gotta read.
And teaches with his fingers.
Making signs, pointing. Come over here. Come over. He winking at her from across the room. And she playing. She got the damn Jezebel spirit in it. She playing right in it. Tee. Once again, it's on, man. Better go and get that gap. Go ahead, man. Now they ain't even worth it, man.
14. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord.
So that means he's making evil plans in his head, right? He has a perverse heart and he's determined to do evil and are always starting arguments. This is why I told Mahalakai. He's like, "Tells out what problem you got?" I said, "Yo, you always arguing with other brothers, man. Why you always arguing? Why you beefing with everyone?" What did the Lord say? Forwardness is in his heart. Forwardness is in his heart. That means he's always starting arguments. He's always in a conflict.
Verse 15. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly.
So disaster is going to strike him instantly.
Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy.
Yeah, he's going to be hurt with no damn help. You don't burn so many bridges. Some people are like, nah, I don't want to deal with him, man. He's like the vagabond of Israel. He's like the werewolf of Israel. I don't want to deal with him. Okay, read. You muted yourself.
Oh, Salakia. These 6 things doth the Lord hate.
You look like the you look like the Kung Fu Theater movies for a second, man. Walking, but the words wasn't coming yet. Like them old Kung Fu Theater movies.
God, forgive me. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
That means
about to come in the house. If she tell me
that means
you can't hit her again.
That means so. Okay. Hey, Nasha, can you mute your mic? Hey, so yeah, now what that was basically saying is it's talking about someone that starts arguments. They're always getting into conflicts amongst their brothers, right? They're always arguing with their brethren and so on and so forth. So that's what the Lord is talking about right there. Are you still there,
Khan.
Yeah.
Khan.
Let me yeah.
Verse 20.
So it's going back into adultery now.
Khan. Verse 20. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother.
Yeah, protect your father's commandments and don't abandon your mother's teachings, meaning your mother's instructions. So all you men out there, you better listen to this, man. Read on.
Bind them continually upon thine heart.
Right, keep these words in your mind, meaning bind them upon your heart forever, as though you had tied them fast to you and around your neck. Read.
Khan. 22. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest,
they will guide you. They will lead you when you walk.
When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee.
It will protect you.
And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee.
That means they will speak with you. You're going to hear these in your mind when you're awake.
For the commandment is a lamp,
Mm-hmm.
and the law is light.
Come.
And reproof of instruction are the way of life.
So the commandments are a lamp, meaning these teachings, these instructions are a lamp. It's a light, making things very clear that you're supposed to do in life. And all the corruption, all this correction that comes from them is discipline correction, right? And it will help you. It will help you on your path in life. That's what the Lord said, man, through Solomon.
Verse 24. To keep thee from the evil woman.
They will guard you from the sinful woman, the evil woman.
From the flattery of the tongue.
From her
of a
pleasing
strange
words. From her pleasing words. From the pleasing words.
Verse 25.
Well, hold
Lust
on.
not.
From the pleasing words of another man's unfaithful wife. From the foreign woman. Go ahead, read verse 25.
Lust not after her beauty in thine heart.
Okay, don't desire her because of beauty.
Neither let her take thee with her eyelids.
Don't be captured by the way that she looks, by the way she looks at you. Don't be taken. She look at you with that seductive look. You know the look I'm talking about, man. G-Code. You know the look I'm talking about. She look at you with that seductive. She might be with her husband. She gives you that seductive look. What the Lord is saying is, yo, man, don't be taken by her eyelids. She give you a certain look. It's sexually provocative. Go ahead, read.
For by means of a whorish woman,
A prostitute will treat you like a loaf of bread. A prostitute, a whorish woman, that's what a whorish woman is. A prostitute will treat you, meaning will cost you, like a loaf of bread. Read.
and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
Yeah, and the woman who actually takes part in adultery, meaning the married woman, she may cost you, meaning hunt you, stalk you, your life. Why she might cost you your life? Because her husband might kill your wicked behind. He might kill you.
Straight up. Verse 27. Can a man take fire in his bosom?
No,
and
you can't
clothes?
scoop. You can't scoop in hot coals. Can you scoop in hot coals in your bosom, against your chest, or in your lap without it burning your clothes? La-ah. La-ah. Go ahead, read on.
Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned?
Yeah, you can't walk on hot coals without burning your feet. Come on, man. The hell you are, man. That damn demon. What's the guy do walking on this stuff? David, what? Damn dude been doing that satanic magic. They always be in
yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
It's
David Blaine.
it's David Blaine.
Yeah, David Blaine.
David Blaine.
David Blaine and Chris Angel.
Yeah, he working in witchcraft, man. And there's another one, man. There was an older one. He wore all black also, man. I forgot
David
his name.
Copperfield.
Copperfield. Right. Copperfield. They working magic, man. They're making people believe they walking on hot coals and it look like it's real, but it's delusional.
Verse 29. So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent.
Right. So it's saying if you have sexual relations with another man's wife, whether it be your neighbor, your friend, anyone who does this will be punished. Anyone, you're not going to go unpunished. Even if it doesn't get you there, the Lord is saying you will not go unpunished. And that's one thing the Lord can't do is damn sure break his own promise. So if you've done that, even when you're in the streets, I haven't came back to you yet, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. She might commit adultery on you. You're nervous now. You get nervous. It might not even come to the same woman. You feel me? You might think you got a prize, man. You got a Jezebel in disguise, man.
Verse 30. Men, do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry.
Right. People, you're not going to hate a man because because he can't afford to feed himself. You're not really going to hate that man. But what if he's caught?
31. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house.
That means it's going to cost him everything he owns if they catch him stealing. Right? It costs him everything he owns.
Verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
That means he has no damn sense. A man that commits adultery has no damn sense. He lacks heart. He will destroy himself.
He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. 33. A wound and dishonor shall he get.
Right. I mean, that means he will be beaten up and disgraced because her husband's going to whip your ass, man. And you'll be lucky if he doesn't kill you, man. That means you're going to find affliction. You're going to find scorn. And your shame, which is your reproach, will never go away. They be like, yo, man, isn't that the man right there that slept with so-and-so's wife? Yeah, man, I don't want that Negro around here. People are not going to want you around. There's a lot of dudes like that in Israel now, that vagabonds in Israel. They got to go from state to state to state because they done violated.
34. For jealousy is the rage of a man.
Yeah, jealousy makes a husband angry. Jealousy makes a husband angry, and he will have no pity, meaning he will not forgive when he gets revenge in his heart, man.
That's exactly what I was thinking about earlier.
Gone.
Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
There's my man crying. He's not. That means when he's gonna pay you back, he ain't gonna spare you. No, hey, please, man, please, y'all suppose man ain't gonna do it no more. The husband's not gonna spare it in the day of vengeance, man.
Which goes on to the next one, the last verse, 35. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
Yeah, you could try and win this man over by giving him gifts to come on, man, let's go and hang out and buy you dinner. That man don't want to hear that, man. That man's ready to put your wicked behind the death. He's ready to put you to death. Understand that? From there, let's talk about the woman of adultery again. We're going over to Proverbs, the 7th chapter. See, Solomon talked about this a lot. And you got to understand that Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. So he knew women. You understand? He knew it. Solomon's trying to give you the game, man. A lot of you men don't want to take heed.
Proverbs chapter 7. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee.
He's saying, guard my speech and treasure. When he say lay up, he said to store, to hide my commandments in you, meaning in your mind.
Keep my commandments and live.
He said to guard these commandments and you will live. If you guard these commandments, you will live. Guard my teachings, my instructions, as you would your own, like the apple of your eyes. This is what Solomon's telling his son. Go ahead, read.
Verse 3. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thy heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman.
So he's saying to wisdom that, hey, man, you're my sister, and call understanding your closest friend, your kinswoman. Call understanding your friend.
Verse 5. That they may keep thee.
That when it says that they may keep you, who is he talking about? He's talking about wisdom and understanding, because he just mentioned them in the form of verse. That they may keep you. That who may keep you? Wisdom and understanding. She may keep you. Read on.
That they may keep thee from the strange woman.
From the adulterous woman. From the adulterous wife.
From the stranger which flattereth with her words.
From the unfaithful wife, who are very pleasing and flattering with her words. Better watch out for that, Craig. Watch out for that thing, Craig. That thing right there is heavy, man.
For at the window of my house, I looked through my casement.
At the windows of my house, I looked through my casement.
Verse 7, and beheld among the simple ones. I discern among the youths and young man void of understanding.
And so, I mean, he said, I mean, it's not really comical, but he said, I beheld among the simple ones. I made you something, man. This is the first place that I saw the word sent. You know what I mean? It's short for a simple one, right? So, I mean, a lot of men are simple as hell, man, because they can't even see when this is going down, man. So he said, I beheld among the simple ones. Read.
Verse 8, passing through the streets near her corner, and he went the way to her house.
Right. So he was walking down, crossing the street near the corner on the road that was actually leading to our house. You know.
God, and then you got verse 9, which mirrors that other verse from earlier. In the twilight, in the evening.
Stop for a second. Stop. Now I want you to notice when this stuff is done. It's done just before dawn, so no one can see him, or it's done in the evening when it gets dark. It's done, you know what I mean, right around sunset, or it's done in the dead of night. In the twilight of the evening, the darkness of night was just beginning. Hey, read on.
In the black and in dark night, verse 10, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
Okay, so it says a woman. So that tells sisters certain things that you dress is considered to be a whorish woman. You are dressed like a hoe, is what that scripture is saying. The attire of a harlot. So that means the woman approached him. She propositioned to him dressed like a prostitute, dressed like a hoe. You know? And she was planning to trick him.
And subtle of heart.
Yeah, she was planning to trick him. She was planning to trick him. She had a subtle of heart.
She is loud and stubborn.
Yeah, she's loud and boisterous. Hey, look at me, I'm fine. Your wife look like this. She's loud and stubborn. Means she's loud and boisterous, right? She's noisy. I hate that damn thing, man. See it on the train in New York. These damn wicked Eves, worldly Negroes get on the front train. They are loud, trying to attract attention. They're stubborn. They're defiant. And they never stay at home. Her feet do not rest in her own house. Read on.
Verse 12. Now she is without.
She's always out. Now she's without means she's always out in the street. She's always out in the street or in the front of Times Square, in the city square, waiting around, lurking on corners, on the street corners, you know.
Now in the streets and lieth in wait at every corner. Verse 13. So she caught him and kissed him.
She grabbed him and she kissed him.
And with an impotent face said unto him.
So with an impotent face, that means she didn't have any shame. With an impotent face, she kissed him. She's married. She had no shame, meaning with an impotent face. Her face was brazen, right? And what she say to him? Go ahead, read.
Verse 14. I have peace offerings with me.
Yeah, I made my fellowship offerings.
This day have I paid my vows.
Today, I have paid my special promise, my vows.
Therefore came I forth to meet thee,
so I
diligently to seek thy face.
Right, so she told him, look, man, so I came out to meet you. I've been looking for you. I'm seeking your face. I mean, I've been looking for you and I found you. She told him, oh, wow, I've been always looking for a man like you. And the damn scent, oh, okay. She done gassed him up. She gassed him up. He fell for it.
Con. Verse 16. I've decked my bed with coverings of tapestry.
Yeah, she decked her bed with colored sheets from Egypt.
With carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. 17. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh.
I've made my bed smell sweet. Sprinkle my bed with, yeah, I mean, with perfumes and all that. Made her bed smell sweet with myrrh, aloes, cinnamon. Yo, razzle and dazzle him, man.
Verse 18. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning.
Yeah, let us get intoxicated with love until the morning. Let us enjoy each other, rejoice in each other in love.
Let
that
us
thing right there, man. That thing right there will destroy a lot of men.
Yeah, let us solace ourselves with loves. Verse 19. For the good man is not at home.
Yeah, the good man is a husband. My husband is not home. The good man is not home. He's going away on a long trip. He's far away. Don't worry about it. The good man is not at home. That thing is heavy, man.
Verse 20. He hath taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed.
So she's saying he took a lot of money with him, right? He left with a money pouch in his hand, and he won't be home for weeks until the new moon.
Says with her much fair speech she caused him to yield.
Yeah, so with her clever words, verse 21 is saying by her clever words, she seduces him. She made him give in. She seduces him by her pleasing words, by the flattery of her lips. She led him into wrongdoing. She persuaded him. She compels him. You understand?
Verse 22. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter.
So all at once, he followed her. The hell you doing following her, Craig? She married. All at once, he followed her like an ox being led to a butcher, being led to the slaughter.
Or as a fool to the correction of the stocks.
Is that word fool again, man? Like a deer caught in a trap, like a fool to the stocks, like a deer caught in the traps, the stocks.
Verse 23, till a dart strike through his liver as a bird hasteth to the snare.
Damn, until an arrow pierces his liver, like a bird caught up, like a bird that's hurrying up to a trap. This man doesn't realize he's walking to a trap, man. He running to get into the trap, man. You know what I mean? His ride's all fun. He running to get into that trap, Yashabun. Like a bird caught up, hurrying to a trap.
And
he didn't know that it's going to kill him, man. He didn't know it was going to kill him.
Verse 24, hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth.
Yeah, so Solomon said, listen, my sons, you better listen to me, man. Pay attention to what I say, man. Listen to my speech. Listen to the words of my mouth.
Let not thy heart decline to her ways.
Right, turn away from this kind of woman's path, man. Don't let yourself be tricked by such a woman. Turn away from her paths. Don't go where she leads. Do not wander down her paths.
Verse 26, for she have cast down many wounded.
She's ruined many good men. She's ruined many good men. She caused many corpses to fall and may have even died behind that thing, man, because her husband might kill her, man. All those that she's killed, man, by way of her husband, she led him to a trap, to Sheol, to hell, the grave. Okay.
Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Verse 27, her house is the way to hell.
Yeah, to
Going-
Sheol, to the grave, to the underworld.
Going down to the chambers of death.
Mm-hmm. So you better stay away from that thing, man. Y'all got one more precept. Proverbs 23:27. Proverbs 23:27, man. You better stay away from that thing, fellas.
Proverbs chapter
It clean like
23.
yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit.
Hey, you better not fall in that thing, man. It says a whore is a deep ditch. Anyone ever been driving? You ever been driving in the ship, Dietrich's, and get your vehicle stuck in a deep ditch? And it's hard to get out of that thing, man. It's hard to get out of that thing once you get in there, man. You might
Hard to
try
get
to
out.
call a tow truck and everything, man. You know what I mean? If it's snowing, you FUCKED. You ain't getting out of that thing, man.
Con.
That's what happens when you fall into a hole. It's like a deep ditch, man. You get stuck in that thing, man. And you getting stuck mentally. You see what I'm saying? You getting so the Lord. I mean, he's using like hip talk. A hole is a deep ditch. That means you get stuck in that thing, man. It's really hard to come out of there. You know what I mean? The more he start laying down with her, the more he start looking like he start acting like Mickey Mouse, start looking more like Goofy. You know what I mean? She winning him over. He don't know what to do. He wants to break away. He can't. He calling her up when her husband's home. She said, I can't deal with you now. My husband's here. You better stay out of that thing, man. A whore is a deep ditch. Go ahead up. Was that it on that?
Oh, yeah, that was it. That was it on that precept.
Yeah. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman a narrow pit. That was the end of that thing, man. So yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Anyone got anything? Clean like linen. There's the links, whatever. Anyone got anything they want to bring up? There's a link to the meeting room. Anyone that want to speak now, and there's the phone numbers. If you want to come in on Zoom, we're on Zoom today. We're not on StreamYard, so this works differently.
John, I just want to add that if all the brothers that are sincere, about this walk with the Most High, when you're dealing with a woman, that should be about the first, if not the first, at least the second question. Are you married? Are you in a committed relationship or something like that? Should be the first or the least second thing. Ain't no need to move forward with anything else before knocking that out the way. That's just wisdom. That's all I got.
Putting these numbers in the room. So there's the numbers, the password, all of that's actually in the room now. So if you still want to come in clean like linen, you could actually come on in. What's that? Moke? Yeah. Anyone else got anything? Shia? Richard? Dietrich? Zadok? Anyone got anything you want to bring out, man? Go ahead, man. Any of the sisters got anything they want to bring out, they could bring it out, man. Hey, does Alicia ever make it to the call?
I could go ahead and say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just as I guess you could say as a testimony per se. I was on the other side of that. So just so y'all know, like everything that describes is exactly what I was before he delivered me from all that crap. So that's just, I don't know. I'm just giving confirmation, like for anybody who's like, okay, yeah, I get it, or whatever. Just like, it's just so you know, like I was one of those people that exactly described. And that's just to let you know that's just not okay, obviously. And knowing that and being glad that I understand the severity of that when it comes to making others fall. So it's not something to play with for sure.
I appreciate that, sister. Yeah, that's a powerful testimony. It really takes a lot to admit that kind of stuff. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Who just came in? Who was that? Was that Keisha just talking?
No, Kimberly.
Oh, who's someone just came in. Oh, that was her.
Hello,
Mikael, yeah, what's going on, Cornish?
shalom.
Yeah, shalom.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple words to Ox and everybody, with T Dot. You know what I'm saying? Even though I haven't been an active member, but probably I have been seeing on messages everybody talking and stuff. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's real with this marriage. I'm currently in a marriage that's about to be, so to speak. But it's actually behind stuff like that, and supposed for men, that channel right there, when you did speak, to help people out, to guide them out. You know what I'm saying? And that really was an inspiration for me. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. I'm speaking from experience though. I've been down that path. You know what I mean? I had a chick stab my tires up, all of that. But the thing is about me, I'm not ashamed to admit it. But when she did that, I got the hell away from her. You see what I'm saying? Because anyone that does something like that, it's not, the mall is open, but no one's shopping. If you understand what I mean. Because if she stabbed the tire, guess what might be next? You know what I mean? And then if you have to, and you got to be put in a position to defend yourself, they're going to lean towards her. You know what I mean? So I removed my way up from those situations. Man, I've been in situations where a chick bit me up all in the back, like bit me about 7 times like a damn dog. And when I went to the emergency room, like at Mount Sinai, I had to lie and said I got jumped in because New York, they have a statute, like if your skin is broken, they automatically take the other person to jail. So where I didn't want her to get locked up, I just like, I'm not dealing with her anymore. You know what I mean? So I just bounced. I wait until she wasn't there. I got my stuff and I talked to one of my peoples in Harlem. I was like, I'm out. And I was gone. Then she started coming to the job because they always come back. After a little time and they cool down, they're going to always try and come back. She kept coming to my job, trying to talk to me, but I had already told everybody, I don't want to deal with her. I don't want her coming to the job and so on and so forth. I had to get to the point, man, like, if you come here again, we're going to put a restraining order against you. That's what the job told her, man. We don't want you on the premises anymore. So sometimes, you know what I mean, it has to be like that. But sometimes we have to learn the hard way. Sometimes, you know what I mean, we just need to go through that experience. Because, sometimes we know that we shouldn't be in a particular thing and we try and hold on to it. We might have children by it and so on and so forth, but it's still a lot of toxicity going on. But we try to ignore that. There's been chicks that from the start, I was like, I shouldn't be with her. But I was thinking below the waist. You dig what I'm saying? And that came back to haunt me because I knew from the beginning, you can't just trust a big butt and a smile, man. Or a pretty face and a smile. That's carnal. I'm not carnal like that anymore. If you start courting someone, man, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you meet a woman, right? And if you first just met her and she started talking to you about how so-and-so is no good, the man she was with, run. Because a real person that's real stable and a woman that's rooted in herself, she's not gonna start just pouring out her entire life story, especially without you asking. That's some type of personality disorder, man. And you better run while you can, or you might regret it later, man. But I learned these things the hard way, man. I learned these things the hard way. And you don't want to be with that kind of woman. Doesn't matter how she look, whatever. Because too many men get hooked on how women look. You see what I'm saying? They get hooked on her body. That's all carnal, man. You better stick with these precepts because the Most High's word is right and exact, man. And that's the only thing that could change some people. And it's the same thing for the sisters, man. Like some men, man, they be on the prowl. You know what I mean? They be on the prowl. I mean, some men, you know what I mean, it's just this, like LL Cool J, for example. Remember when he was rapping? Just about every other damn song was talking about how he violated someone's woman or wife. And they think that's cool. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. That's adultery, man. That's adultery, man. So yeah, I mean, you really gotta just shake it and move on.
Yo,
Yeah. So anyone that want to come in the room and speak, you can, man. Anyone to come in and speak, you can, man.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Va.
God.
Yeah. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with this, but y'all can watch this movie. It's like Samson. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that story. Y'all can actually watch the movie on Netflix. And you know what's crazy about that movie and the whole story, even when you read it, it's like when you watching the story of Samson, you looking at like how he's interacting with people and everything, and you follow his story. You sitting there watching him, and you see his people are being oppressed, right?
Right.
And he ends up coming upon some strength that is godly. And the only thing he can think about at that time was just another female. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like the first thing I'm thinking of is, okay, if I end up coming upon some strength like that, like what could I possibly, the possibilities are endless of what I would do with it, you know what I'm saying, to help my people. But then it just gets you in the mindset of like, well, damn, how many brothers out here got power that they don't even know about, you know what I'm saying? Things that they thinking about every day, but they just can't get out of it because, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
a lot of them are just kind of trapped up in a, you know what I'm saying? Trapped up, I ain't saying trapped up with women, but just they mind ain't where it's supposed to be, just surrounded around the you know what I'm saying, women.
Yeah, it was that woman that brought him down though. Like
Yeah.
I remember the movie. His family didn't want him to be with her, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, his family didn't want. They warned him.
Warned them. And I think wouldn't the Philistines actually be African?
Yeah, they was dark people.
Yeah. So when I was watching it, I was like, okay, I know that the Israelites are black, but what the hell? How are the Philistines Caucasian too? So that was
Yeah,
weird.
man. All of those people back there, man. Unless you could trace them to Esau's descendancy, most of them was pretty much dark-skinned people. You know what I mean? Most of those people was pretty much dark-skinned, man. Until Esau comes on the scene and all of that, man. But yeah, he was on the scene. But a lot of ways to remember that, man. Like unless you could trace their genealogy somewhere around Esau, or to Shem, then most of them, most of those people was dark people back there, like the Babylonians.
Yeah. But yeah, I encourage everybody to watch it on Netflix and just kind of think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, this man came up on some power, like some strength. And he's sitting there watching his people. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's like he come on this strength and they talking about, yo, like, help us. Like, he just sitting around. Like, he could care less about his people. He just.
The woman took his mind, man. The woman had him, man. Yeah. And he was a Nazarite.
Yeah, so that was, it's strange to watch it. When you read it, it's like okay, but when you watch it and look at it, it's like so it's weird. I can't explain it.
Yeah, but I mean, when you watch that kind of stuff, you got to be careful, right? Because most of those Edomite stories that they do, like they don't line up with the scriptures. Because if you remember in the movie, they had Samson drinking and all of that, right?
Yeah,
he can't drink. He's a Nazarite.
Yeah.
A Nazarite can't even eat grapes or anything like that. You can't do any of that. That's why his hair was never cut. He was a lifetime Nazarite. He was never supposed to cut his hair. You had 2 kind of Nazarites in the Bible. You have some that was temporary Nazarites, like the Apostle Paul. Then you have lifetime Nazarites, like Samson and John the Baptist. They never could cut their hair. They could never eat any grapes or anything like that. But they show him like he getting real drunk in the movie. That's not in the scriptures. You can't find that in the scriptures. That's why everything, before I watch Esau's movie, I always tell people to go and read the Bible story about it for yourself first, or to confuse people. They do that a lot with those movies that they play on Easter and all of that.
Yeah.
If someone got a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. That's all I wanted to bring out. I just was like, if y'all, you know what I'm saying? The story is on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Watch and beware, but I just,
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
thank you.
Yeah, anyone else? Anyone else got anything? Craig?
I was gonna add some if nobody else does, I was gonna add something else.
Okay.
I was gonna say if everyone thinks about their life experience and you really meditate on your experiences in life, good and well it lines up with the word and everything that we just went over. Everything, not a little bit. I'm gonna tell you every single bit of it. So I went through something similar. I was about like 20, and as I'm just recalling events, it went down just like that. Jezebel spirit. When your mind is set on doing wrong, ain't nothing really gonna sway you from that. I mean, all of that. So for those of us that are here now, I mean, don't be afraid to speak up. We got the platform here for you to speak up. To add something. Everybody that's on YouTube, go ahead, get on a number. Call in, because something that you may have to add or that you have on your spirit based on what's written could help somebody else. So don't be afraid to speak up. It's the Lord Shabbat. Do what it do.
Yeah. To the brother, Morkaya. Yeah, I just saw your message. Like, yeah, we still working on gathering a physical building. We're not even sure what we're gonna put that up yet, but yeah, you could come in the room and speak if you want it, brother. I put the information in the room. I gotta deal with something. Can someone speak for a second? I gotta go and check my sons for a second, man. Can I get a little disordered?
Oh yeah, definitely already take care of that. But yeah. So just go ahead and get up on there. You know what I'm saying? When I was very similar to Tazadak, when I was younger, I actually grew up in the Bronx, and strangely enough, I mean,
It's 5 o'clock.
very, very much into older females. And me, I lost my father when I was about 8 years old. So just to set the stage, I'm already looking to for a brotherhood, for some direction, to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? I never got with any kind of gangs or nothing, but I did adopt the viewpoint of, okay, a man must be one who could have a woman. And lo and behold, I was about like 11 years old, got dang on curious, and things happen that shouldn't have happened. And I ended up getting my feelings hurt, which what I thought led me to overcompensate in other ways. I started I taught myself how to dunk at 12. After that happened, it was a wrap. I was way out there. I didn't look at nobody my age. It was high school and up. And when I tell you, when you come across folks that that are whorish, and you come across dudes that really feel some kind of way about, you messing with that woman, you setting yourself up for all types of failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, how in the world are you gonna kick somebody out of their own home? That's the kind of crazy mess, that I was up on. Just ridiculous and stupid. And after reading Proverbs, and it's talking about, my son, incline your ear to my words, incline and pay attention to my understanding. I just think in my head that if I'd have got this earlier, on how much better off we would be. Now, you can't turn back time or whatever the case is, but for the things I know that I did that wasn't right, whether it be to include, defiling women or other men's wives, and also, you know, and hustling and stuff, I steady try to, you know, teach the right thing to, you know, my seed line and also to other brothers. You know, there are things that you get from, you know, the streets and from experience that you ain't gonna get anywhere else. So when you come into the truth, you have a lot to add. And I know there's a lot of brothers, a lot of you brothers out there like that, which lead to don't be afraid, you know, to speak up, especially when dealing with the precepts of the Most High and how, you know, and how it was to where you are right now. Even though you may not have it all together, it's about the journey. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have it all together either. But as a man, we are called to come forth and speak. We're called to lead a home. And if you don't have any sons or daughters yet, and if you're not married yet, venues and platforms like this are a perfect opportunity to exercise that before it takes place. Ain't that right, Yeshaya? Vaughn, Dietrich, Craig, how much practice you had before you know, life came about and you know, rubber meet the road? Zadok?
Oh yeah, I've had quite a few crazy ones. I've been stabbed with forks, knives, try to be hit across the head with pots, you know. And this right here was like older women. They might have their shit together, so to speak, you know, business, running salons, so forth and so forth. So, you know, back then, you know, you ain't in the truth, you know what I'm saying? So you grew up in these households where it's predominantly a lot of women, mother, sister, auntie. So you get kind of used to these bossy women, you know what I mean? So, but I had one particular, she had her own business, like I said. She was just crazy, you know what I'm saying? This feminist type of man type attitude that they pick up today, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell the way a lot of them talk, they talk like men. And one thing they got to understand that real men don't like women that talk like men, you know? And so, but us as men, when we come into this truth, we have to realize that's the first thing we have to do is take hold of our manhood, you know what I'm saying? Grab our balls back, so to speak, I would say. But that's it. That's all I got to say, though.
Con, Craig, what you got?
Look at that guest right here. It's coming in. Go ahead, Craig. You've been in the cut, Craig. I hope everything's all right, man.
Yo,
You used to be coming through hard body.
yeah, man, it's been a little while, man, since you know I've been able to reconnect with the brothers, man. It's probably everything I've been needing, man. Like, but it's been you know what? I got my sword, and I still have yet to really like delve into it like I want to. And I mean, like the other day, when I was on here, it was a few weeks back. Like I was trying to ask you what chapters and the sword talk about repentance, you know, and like you know how like just so you know like I'm trying to find out where to start. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of when it comes to dealing with women, I dealt with a lot of women also. Like I heard you talking earlier, and you know, since 14, I had a chick that was 24. She told my dad she wanted to marry me, man. Like all I remember my dad on the phone saying is, "Yo, he's only 14." You know, like she was so in love with me. You know, and it's like I learned like I learned the game from being around my aunts, being around my older cousins. You know, it's like I always been around females, so it's like you know, like I deal with them different, and I usually get a realer side out of them than you know a lot of people get out of them. And it's like you know I don't let them mind control me, and that's the thing that it's like I know when they try, it's in their nature. And I mean, it's not even like they do it maliciously or nothing like that. You know, it's in their nature. You know, so it's like you know you got ones out here that's loose, and you know you definitely you know you got to steer clear. You know what I mean? When you deal with enough of them, though, you know you're gonna definitely you know you're gonna learn them. If not,
Yeah,
they're gonna learn. They already studying you.
yeah. I don't, I don't, you know, I don't just look out for the ones that's obviously loose. You gotta watch those quiet demons also. The quiet demons is the ones that come on YouTube and shalom. You see her come out with a plate of food. You dig what I'm saying? She got her hair covered. But then when you go and look at her damn Facebook pictures up, she dressed like really provocative. And if you asked her, sis, why you dressed like that? You know what she'll tell you? I'm gonna show you game. She'll tell you I'm using that as an example of how not to be. That's a wicked woman right there. That's a wicked woman, man. And unless she repents, the Lord's not dealing with a woman like that, man. Because the Lord, why you gotta teach the world how to be a hoe when there's so many other women out here on a daily basis doing that? You see what I'm saying? You gotta be able to read through game, man. You gotta be able to see that, man. And I seen it like a Xena. I was like, yo, man, you could take that down right now. Oh, yeah, I mean, you can hit the door. That's how, and I'm telling you something, man. You gotta be a very good negotiator. And to me, the strongest negotiating position is to be able to walk away and really mean it. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for a lot of heartbreaks. And see, men get too damn emotionally involved with women too quick. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to try that spirit, man, and see if this is the one. So you don't just jump in bed with a woman, especially if you're in the truth, because now you got a commitment to her. You understand what I'm saying? So you try that spirit, and sisters definitely need to try men, because according to what's written, once they lay down with a man, I mean, that's it until that man's dead. Most people don't want to live by these laws, man, and so the Most High is killing a lot of people. Look what's going on with this COVID-19, man. 40% of all the deaths in the United States are who? It's J. Remember when people saying, oh, it's not getting us? Well, why in the hell is 40% of the people out of all of the races is dying as us? They can't answer that. Where the 5G people at now? It's killing us, man. Remember when they were saying it's not, and then you got some of our people that's so stupid, man. They say, oh, you can't trust the media, man. That's not, Negro, we dying, man. Are you crazy? You go and say that to someone that has a family member that died, man. And you still jumping on the bandwagon with Esau. Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, the 5G still. And these cats are saying that they know nothing about technology, man. But our people, the fact of the matter is, man, at the end of the day, our people are dying. And so does people know that last night it was 790 some people died in New York. The night before it was 800 people that died in New York. But I tell you all, yeah, it's going down. You know what's happening? You know why so many people, you don't listen to the game, man. You know why so many people are being discharged? It's because Esau is getting it, but they getting over it. A lot of them are not dying. Why? You want to talk about strategy? You want to talk conspiracy theory? Well, I have one for you. The reason that so many people of our people are dying is because this disease was designed when they created it to get people that already had a ill
condition.
That's how it's getting so many of us. Because now you got young people that have like high blood pressure and all of that. They dying also. See, at first it was only getting the elderly until, and it was like, well, and you got some of our people that's so blind, man, so stupid. They coming on the call and say, well, yeah, the people that's dying, they're saying COVID-19 killed them. It is killing them, you damn moron. But when I look at the report, they had a bad heart condition. You bird brain. That's the reason they died, because the disease is designed to kill people that already has a pre-medical condition, a pre-ill health condition. Those are the people that's dying in the record numbers. Doesn't matter their age, man. They dropping off like flies. And you know what's going to happen? I don't know if you guys realize it. The madman Donald Duck Trump is talking about calling the all clear. He said he wants to fix the economy. You know what's going to happen with that? He's going to send people back out. And they're talking about what giving you an anti what do you call it? An anti what's the word he used? Um damn, an antibody to see if you are okay to go work out in society. If you take that antibody, you're putting your damn self at risk. Believe me. I will not allow them to put anything into my system. And you know what happens? When he sends people out and give an all clear, more of our people are still going to be dying. Because our people had these illnesses up from slavery. And they haven't gone away. And no one's looking at that. They want to talk 5G. They want to talk all of this other stuff. Look at our conditions. So they came out with a strategic plan that affects people that already have health conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma. You see what I'm saying? Those are the people dying. When they was telling you that, they wasn't telling you that they was Negroes. They wasn't telling you that it was Jake. They just told you people was dying until they was forced to bring it out. And some of our people are so blind now that it's brought out. You know why it was brought out? Because so-called black doctors and political rights activists saying we want to see the statistics, the racial statistics of the people that's dying. Esau didn't want to put that out at the beginning. And so, but you still got our people that's saying we can't trust the media. Well, Negro, you need to die too, man. Or at least get sick. I'm serious, man. You need to die too, man. Because you can't convince those kind of people, man.
Come on.
It needs to get them, man. That's the only answer, man. So when they say everything's okay, is it really going to be okay for us, for the people in our communities that's already sick? No, it's not. It's not. People still going to be dying. And so that's where they put in a COVID-19 killing. And so for all the people that saying, well, these people already had a medical condition. Okay, think about this, right? Let's say they already had it, right? Why weren't they dead? Where's the record of thousands of people dying before this damn COVID-19 came? They was dying a normal death, right? But this thing right here is killing them within days, man. Use your minds, man.
Yep. And when you go to the doctor, they always ask you if, you know, anybody in your family have the same type of conditions. You see what I'm saying? So it's, and they call it hereditary. Now, I know that it's not. The reason why they call it hereditary, because you're going to eat the same thing your parents ate. But that just goes to show that, you know, it's going to take everybody out unless you change, you know, your habits and boost your immune system to get rid of that. But it looks like we got two new people on the call. Wazir came in first. What you got, Wazir? Wazir. Did I say it right?
Not much, man. I'm just enjoying you brothers, man. I'm just listening to the call, man. I'm just enjoying the meet.
Hey, brother Wazir, was that you that sent me the email or another brother?
You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, that was me. I'll say I'm just enjoying y'all. I'm just listening to y'all meeting, man. I don't want nothing to say. I'm just listening, man. I wish y'all just keep talking.
All right. And who else was on?
You got Calator Mensa. What you got? Calator Mensa, can you hear us?
Well, man, I do have something I want to ask you, brother, man. This is my first time really sitting in with y'all. I see a lot of y'all videos here and now. I mean, times that I've been subscribed to your thing, but this is my first time actually really being able to sit in on one of y'all sessions to do this. But man, I would really want to do this again. I really want to I would think I would like to sit down with you brothers some more. So how often do this go down like this, you know?
Yeah, like usually every Tuesdays, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll generally join on the Shabbat. On Saturdays, anywhere between 12 and 2, usually.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't been doing it as regularly because I've been like just online so much doing other things, but generally, you know, we kind of like do the Bible study thing like on those days, like Tuesdays nights and Saturdays.
I can hear you. You were asking if you could hear me?
Yeah, I was seeing what
Yeah, my mic was muted. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to have it muted, but it's a good conversation. I want to add something on to what Tazadak was saying about this COVID-19. One of the reasons why it's hitting our community so bad is that when you have a high sugary fatty diet, which unfortunately is endemic in our communities, you have very weakened immune systems. And the key to overcoming this is you gotta encourage everybody you know to stock up on vitamin C and zinc. That will give you the edge. But the problem is that you can't be taking vitamin C and zinc with sugary stuff because that cuts absorption in half.
You're breaking up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying that you can't take vitamin C and zinc with any sugary stuff, any sweets, because it cuts the absorption in half. And it's very key to getting an edge on this and boosting your immunity.
Hey, so did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, Calator, that's it, yes.
Calator. Hey, so go ahead and share with the audience what increases the absorption rate of vitamin C and zinc.
Staying off sugary, white cane sugar is the bane of absorption of any nutrient, because when you take white cane sugar, if you look at the molecule of white cane sugar, it's very similar to cocaine. I think cocaine is C17H21NO3. Table sugar is C6H12O6, if I'm not mistaken. So the only difference is a nitrite group on the end of it, essentially. And they have similar psychodynamics. They release a lot of dopamine. Sugar releases a little bit of dopamine. That's why people feel good when they have a little sugar. They feel, because a little dopamine is released. Same thing when you eat a little chocolate. Chocolate is doubled because you have phenylalanine and dopamine. Phenylalanine and sugar. But with cocaine, the chemical pathway is that it releases a lot of dopamine at once. And sugar addiction is rampant in this country at all levels. So it's not just in our communities. So it hits people who have the underlying sugar addiction hardest. And you can't absorb a lot of vitamin C when you have, which is ascorbic acid, when you take a lot of sugar. And because your body needs it on a daily basis. So prior to in December and November, I was taking up to 10 grams of vitamin C a day. And in a powder form, I was putting in water. So I was pretty well saturated. And it's my opinion, unqualified, that this virus was in the United States well before January. I would say even going back into November. Because I came across something in December, mid-December. It was like a very quick fever, chills, and my body just shook it off. The only reason why I can put my finger on why my body shook it off is I was taking very high doses of vitamin C. So people don't need to fear this, but people need to be prepared for it in such a way that they're not impacted. And if they can get their hands on adequate amounts of vitamin C, change their diet such that they're eating more healthy and stay away from refined, processed, sugary foods that contain high fructose corn syrup, which is even worse than cane sugar, and cane sugar, they're going to do very well. So that's what I wanted to add. I mean, it's been a very good conversation.
Yeah, they say Donald Trump and the White House got notification about this back in November. And probably even further back than that, but that's what's going on right now, far-wise in the White House and the news about Donald Trump and them getting this notification about this virus all the way back then, and then not really taking it serious enough until now.
Well, what could he do back then if it has no impact on your public health system at that time? So, you know, you're always gonna have this puppet show between different factions of government saying one thing. Was he aware? Probably, because he has a presidential daily brief by the agency every day, so they know what's going on around the world. But then again, he's not going to tell the public what he gets in his PDB, presidential daily brief, because that's only for him. So this is a multi-situational, multi-dimensional thing that's going on here.
Yeah, I was
Eleazar, what you got?
Yeah, Ak Eleazar from Georgia. Shabbat Shalom.
What you doing, man? Working on a car? It's a Lord Shabbat, man.
You must be preoccupied. Let me go and just relate one last thing. During my walk, when I first decided to change my diet back in like 2014, and when I found out that you have to get off of sugar, it's kind of akin to you. I mean, it's really all mental. It's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about bringing your body and your mind under subjection to what you're not used to. Now, the majority of us are not used to the laws, statutes, and commandments, but it works exactly the same. When you're faced with death, when you're faced with the truth, which way you're going to choose, everybody has to go through it. There's no easy way into the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So when you coming off of whatever your desires, addictions, your lusts are, whether it be with food, whether it be with women, whether it be with idolatry, love of money, so on and so forth, you're gonna end up getting some kind of cold sweats. You're gonna have to get in the dang on scriptures. You need to buckle down, and you got to strengthen your mind with that which is written, so that way you can overcome it. I mean, really and technically, based on what's written, we already won.
Hey, so like Daniel Pedra, yeah. If a man is single, he masturbates, yeah, that's his sin. You come in the room, we'll explain why. Go ahead, Yashabun.
I was gonna say we already won. You just gotta walk through the journey. And there's no shortcuts for anybody. There's no shortcuts. Whether, like I said, whether you're dealing with, whether you're dealing with, gluttony, and that sugar helps you to be gluttonous. You know what I'm saying? Because it tricks you into thinking that you're not full when physically you actually are. Like Calator was saying, it releases dopamine and you get a feeling. In previous videos, I've said, I had like an emotional attachment, with my food. And that's like that with most of us. Everybody has their cross. We know what the truth is. We just need to dang on do it. Otherwise, you're going to be subject to what the devil's bringing forth upon you. Upon us right now is COVID-19, as it is written. It is going to push some other things. And you just got to do it. There's no easy way about it. You should not be waiting. No matter what it is that you're dealing with, you need to deal with it right now. Do not wait.
Hey, Daniel Pedra, come in the room. Let's discuss that. Yes, if a man is single, he masturbates, that's a sin. You better get yourself a wife. Come in the room, let's discuss that. That's a good topic, because you got a lot of brothers that have problems with porn. And that's adultery, believe it or not.
God.
You watching porn, that's it. I mean, And if it's not a woman that you're looking at that's married, it may not be adultery, but it's still fornication because it's sexual wickedness. That's sexual wickedness. So and that's in compliance with the book of Matthews 5:28. Well, Hamashiach said, but I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery already in his heart. So if the woman's not married, you're not committing adultery. What you're committing is sexual fornication, right? You're lusting. Because when you masturbating, are you thinking about an airplane? Thinking about a train? No. You're thinking about doing some woman, so you're lusting, right? You're lusting. If you want to lust, you better get your wife and lust for her. Because if you're sitting there with a damn big jar of Vaseline or baby oil, that's sin. Because in your mind, who are you thinking about? If you're sitting down, you're watching porn, you're engaging in fornication, which is sexual wickedness. Because you're watching other people have sex. That's wicked, man. And so that's why people get a lot of things indoctrinated into their mind. And then you want to start to act it out. That's how a lot of brothers get their wives in trouble, because men are more attracted to porn than most women. And she's in a right state. And he'll talk her into trying to do a threesome with another woman, and he'll put demons on her. Then she'll end up cheating with the other woman when he's not around. Then he'll get mad. So you got a lot of wickedness going on, man, amongst our people, man. That's sin, man. So you men that's masturbating, you better get yourself a woman, a wife, like we was going over earlier, man. You want to be MGTOW, yo, man, MGTOWs are sinners. If you're going to be fully MGTOW, man, you better get yourself a wife. Masturbate, man, you better keep your composure. You better just sit there until you explode and the seeds start coming out of your mouth and all that. You're so backed up. You know what I mean? You better get yourself a wife so you can release, man.
Go run 10 miles, do 1,000 push-ups, do something, do lunges around the block until you can't walk anymore and you fall into exhaustion.
Right. Or fast. If you fast enough, you're only gonna be thinking about that. You're gonna be too weak.
Yep.
Get them spirits off of you, man. So yeah, there's a lot of brothers in Israel right now, man, that has a problem with watching a lot of porn. Porn is wickedness, man. That puts spirits on you, man. Yeah, that put unclean spirits on you. Then you have your woman trying to do that. The woman was okay when you met her. You got her sitting down watching porn with you. You wicked, man. It's just like those men that sit it there into the streets. I mean, in the scriptures, but you know what I mean? They go into and watch strippers and all of that. You go into a strip club and you're a so-called man in the truth. You're wicked, man.
That's stupid.
And Tahar, he was teaching brothers that they could do that. That's violating Matthew 5:28. Now get Tahar out of that. Get any of those men out of that. You can't. A lot of brothers got that problem, man. They don't want to admit it, man. That porn becomes an addiction like a drug. Just like the brother was saying, it releases like in dopamine, right? Into your brain. You just want more and more and more of it. Then, you're going to get tired. At one point, at some degree, you're going to get tired of beating your meat. If you can't get a woman, you're going to start paying for hookers, like we was reading about earlier. Then if you can't do it, then that's why a lot of men, they go out and they rape women, man, because they wicked. A demon jumped on them, man. Those are demons, man. If you want to know what fornication is, man, go and read Leviticus, the 18th chapter. That whole chapter is about fornication. Contrary to popular opinion, fornication is not sex before marriage.
That's right. It is sexual wickedness.
Sexual wickedness.
Basically, isn't it like Hebrews with 12:16, like Esau is a fornicator, which I think in the NIV is say sexual immortal,
right,
or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Con. Yeah, that's a good example.
Sexually immoral.
What was that scripture in Leviticus?
The whole 18th chapter of Leviticus.
Okay, thank you.
Who's that?
That was
That's why I did.
Wazir.
Who's that?
Wazir.
Why did?
Oh, all right. Let me prove that fornication is not sex before marriage, like preachers teach. In the book of Matthew 19, verse 9, right? It says, if a man divorces his wife, put away his wife, except for fornication, right? Now think, it says if a man puts away his wife, divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, right? And marries another, commits adultery, and whosoever she marries commits adultery. So fornication can't be sex before marriage because this woman was already his wife. So how can that be fornication? So fornication is sexual wickedness. It's having sex with your kinfolks. It's having sex with more than one person at once. It's having sex with an animal, which is also bestiality. All of that falls under fornication when you read Leviticus, the 18th chapter. Matthew 5 and 32, man. Again, it says, I tell you, anyone that divorces his wife except for fornication calls her to commit adultery. And he who marries her commits adultery. Why? Because she's still married to her husband. He could divorce her, but she can't take another husband, not according to the law. So that's fornication going on there. Not sex before marriage. The act of sex, how can fornication be sex before marriage when the act of sex itself constitutes marriage? Once you have sex with her, you're supposed to marry her. You're supposed to come to her and say, yeah, we're going to draw up this contract in compliance with the book of Tobit, the 7th chapter, verse 14. That's what it says in the law, man. If a man entices a maid that is not betrothed. See, brothers think they can have sex with women and that's it. That's not what the Lord says. Is that what the Lord says in the book of Exodus? 22nd chapter, verse 19. If someone goes in line with a beast, you got men that sleep with animals. What does the Lord say in Exodus 22 and 19? If you lie with a beast, you should be put to death, man.
Yep.
You're supposed to be put to death. You got men that they still in forms, they have sex with animals. That's a disgusting abomination upon the face of this earth, man.
And the animal got to be put to death too.
Yep, come on. Man, how could someone do that, man? So, I mean, in Exodus 22 and 16, it says, if a man entice a maid, now a maid is it could be a young unmarried woman that is not betrothed. That means she's not engaged. She's not betrothed to another man and lie with her, meaning to have sex with her. So now, if the Lord telling us that you could lie with a woman that is not engaged, so how can fornication be sex before marriage? He said, if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, not engaged, and lie with her, meaning have sex, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. So the act of sex constitutes the marriage. The marriage contract is supposed to come after sex, not before. Esau does everything backwards. They do everything backwards. Then when you go and read the book of Tobit 7 and 14, it shows you how it's supposed to be done. You're supposed to draw up a contract, a covenant, which is a contract. Most people don't follow this, man. That's what it is, man. You like that, understand it, believe it or not. Daniel, you might want to stay on these calls. At least you're admitting that you got a problem with porn and strip clubs. I guess it's probably keeping you pretty broke also. Going to strip clubs, stowing away. I was never that dude that could go to strip clubs, throw money to chicks.
Nah, me either.
Alphas don't do that, man. Alphas don't do that. I just couldn't imagine it, man. Because what you're doing is you're elevating that woman above you. You're gassing her up.
Real simping.
Yeah. That's a real simp right there, man. You got a lot of rappers that do that. They literally make rap songs bragging about throwing racks to hookers. I can't respect a man like that, man. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, folks look at me sideways. So some man, you in Atlanta, you ain't never been to none of the strip clubs. I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. And I let them know, even during my time in the service, I would always be the designated driver, you know what I'm saying, to help keep my Marines out of trouble. But I ain't never go in. I'd sit right there in the car, grab me a book or one of my distance learning courses or something. I ain't never go inside. That just wasn't my vice.
Hey, Shores, come in the room. I don't understand your question. Shores, come in the room. I don't really understand your questions. What he's saying, how can I avoid what now? You understand his question? I don't understand his question.
Oh, let me take a look at it.
So how can a brother, I guess, not ready for marriage? If you're not ready for marriage, first of all, you shouldn't be dealing with a woman. That worldly stuff doesn't fly, man. You can't lay down with a woman, man, unless you're ready to take her in marriage, man. See, that's it. That's it, man. They don't, a lot of people don't want to make commitments. They don't want to make that commitment, man. If a sister's smart, she would never lay down with a man without some kind of obligation. But they got Eve's mind so messed up, she think if he could do it, I could do it also. What is that?
Yeah, he's talking in cliches. Charles, I'm gonna need you to call in.
Yeah, I just put the link in there for him to call in. Call in, Casey Chores, Matt Casey Chores. Hey, the brother that was with GOCC, can you come in the room? The information is in the room. Think it was Carefoot, man. Oh, yeah, I guess he's at work. He said he'll come in on his break. He said it at any time, man. But, yeah, we won't be here when your break is there, man. Anyone else?
Charles.
Sounds like someone just put a message or something in the room. What was that sound? Nope.
That was my phone.
Anyone else? Speak up. For now, whatever, hold your peace. So yeah, man, I know people saw the video I done yesterday about how to get your own country. That's what's really necessary to start your own country, man. That's what's necessary. That's what you got to do. There's one way, you know, if you got your own country, you can enforce your own laws, right? The other, these statutes, all of that wouldn't apply to you anymore. So, you know, we'd be able to force your own laws, like the Native Americans, as long as they're on the reservations, none of the child support, none of that applies to them, right? So you got to have a different law that you got to live by. I don't know how many people are really ready for that. Someone just came in. Or either someone just left. I guess someone just, no, that's Joanna. Wow. Shalom, what's going on, Joanna? It's taking a long time for people to get in this room, man. It's delayed. Shalom, Joanna, what's going on? Ever reached Cilicia yet? I mean, people that be talking that talk, man, they don't live up to it. I don't know. And Shalom, Joanna, what's going on? Am I being hard? Can you hear me? I'm Yeshua.
I got you loud and clear.
Maybe his mic or something's not working. I don't know. Oh yeah, he's still trying to connect to the audio. And any of the sisters try to reach out to Cilicia? I don't get her, man. She be like in and out, man. Well, what about the other sister? Whatever happened to her, man? Naomi.
Yeah, the truck driver.
Yeah. Yeah, those other string of texts, man, everybody needs to delete, man, to remove Joshua Ford out of the text messages. As per his wish.
God. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If anyone that's wanting to be part of, TDOC, we really should be looking on what we can bring to the table. Unless you got like a legitimate issue. If you have a legit issue and you don't let us know, we ain't gonna know to reach out. Otherwise, we looking,
right.
We're looking for you to, to be productive in some kind of way, bring something to the lesson and participate in things like that. But we got a legit issue. Can nobody read your mind? Let us know what's going on.
Joanna, what's going on, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
What's going on?
I couldn't hear the last 2 minutes. What he said the last 2 minutes on my phone died, so I didn't even hear what he was saying. I just heard the last 10 seconds.
Oh, I don't.
Nah, nothing was really going on, man. We were just trying to figure out where folks were at. But the last thing I said was, anyone who's trying to be part of TDOC, if you, don't let us know that you got a legitimate issue, we're not going to know really to, reach out with a sense of urgency, especially if you're not coming up on the, lessons, at least twice a week, Tuesdays and on the Shabbat lesson. We're not really trying to run folks down. We're trying to build up.
How's everything? You're still in Detroit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of our people dying over there. Yeah, I think if people really want to help, I think people need to stop taking this as a game. And the younger people that don't have any kind of pre-health conditions, they should be going to the elderly people's door and say, hey, I was just checking on you, Miss So-and-so. Do you need anything from the store? So those elderly people won't have to go out and put their lives at risk. Well, people don't think like that. They don't think like that, man. It's all about I, me. That could literally save some lives.
Yeah, I give away mad produce and food, and things like that throughout the week. Because, you just never know how you might impact somebody's day. You never know.
Where's my man Reginald, man? Reginald, where you at? I sent him the link. Does anyone else have anything?
No.
pretty much just been.
Actually, I have something, or a question that just came up.
Go ahead. Who's that?
So, I am divorced. I am divorced right now, as of right now. And I don't know if I'm misunderstanding the whole concept of when it comes to remarrying or what qualifies to remarry, because the only reason why I am divorced is due to my now ex-husband committing adultery on multiple occasions. That's the only reason why I ended up filing. So how does that play out, if you don't mind me asking?
So let me ask you this: like, this guy, is he in the truth? Is he an Israelite?
I would say probably not. Because if he was, then he probably wouldn't have done what he did in the first place.
So I mean, when he was with you, was he identifying himself like as an Israelite, or like was he keeping any of the laws or anything like that? Did he?
No, he wasn't, and neither was I at the time. But my beliefs at that given time were not as strong as they are now, as I continue to seek out the truth. So I did understand that divorce had grounds there was grounds for divorce in the event of adultery, but that's pretty much all I understood in that regard.
Yeah. So
you're talking about his overall background. He's Samoan, if that says anything. But he was not raised by his biological parents. He was raised by I guess so-called white people in Louisiana.
What is this, Kimberly?
Yeah.
Your voice sounds a little bit different now. So, what is your nationality?
I guess you could say so-called Black. My family is from Jamaica.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't really hear that at all. But so now technically, we got to keep it a buck. Can someone get I'll show you the law that people misconstrue first, right?
Okay.
I'll show you the law that most Israelite camps misconstrue. Can someone get Deuteronomy 24, the 24th chapter? And someone get Romans 7 verse 2. And then someone gets 1 Corinthians 7 and 39. Right?
God. You said Deuteronomy 24th chapter?
Con.
Deuteronomy 24th chapter, verse 1. When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill.
So stop right here. Whoa, stop for a second. So this is where most people go off, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is when the Pharisees came to Hamashiach and said, "Can a man put away his wife for any cause?" Right? Because what Israelite men were doing, and most people that read this don't read it in the proper context, right? What Israelite men was doing is they was actually the woman wasn't pleasing in their eye. They was just putting them away, but they didn't read the total precept right there. Read that again from the top, brother.
Deuteronomy 24, chapter verse 1. When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
Okay, so now let me. Why did he put this woman away? Anyone? Why did he put this woman away?
Because of uncleanness.
Right. He found something unclean in her. What does that mean? He found out that that woman had already had sex with another man. That's how unclean is. Those are the unclean things that he will find. Either he found out she worshiped another god, which is idolatry, which is fornication, or he found out that her hymen was already broken by another man, so he put her away. So they take this out of context. They use this for a grounds of divorce. Mashiach tells us from the beginning it was not so, right? Okay. Go ahead, brother, read the next verse.
And give it in her hand and send her out of the house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife.
Now stop. Now, you see, that right there is misinterpreted. The King James Version, if you understand the Hebrew, that word may is not there when you read it in the Ibrit. So what these simple wicked Israelites do is they just take that and they say, okay, she may mean she could go and become another man's wife, right? That's not what that's saying. That word, when you read that in the Ibrit, is saying waha laka. She goes, right? And becomes wahayata and becomes wahayaka, wahayata. She goes and becomes, not that she may. You see what I'm saying? Because people took that word and they twisted it and said, okay, she could go and become another man's wife. That's not what that scripture is saying. That scripture is saying, if after leaving, why yasha'a, after leaving, right? If after leaving, why yasha'a, after she leaves, right? After she leaves his house and she goes, right? Wahai yaka, she goes and becomes wahayata, and becomes what? She becomes another man's wife, right? So it didn't say she could, but when you read that in the King James, that's what confuses everyone. It makes you think that she could go and marry another man. That's not what it's saying. So finish that out. Well, I'll show you how they're making women sin.
Verse 3. And if the latter husband hate her and write her
Stop,
bill.
stop. Why is this? Why is the other man that she went to hate her? Because he already found out she didn't lay with another man. Read.
And write her a bill of divorcement and giveth it in her hand and said in her out of his own house. Or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife. Her former husband. Oh,
yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad. Yeah, you're breaking up too bad. But so what it's saying is that even if that man died, she can't go back to the first man. Why? Because she's been violated. She's been violated. Now, from there, let's go to the book of Romans. Who got that? Chapter 7, verse 2.
I do. You got the 7 verse 2, book of Romans. And it reads, can y'all hear me?
Come
on. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband.
Stop. We gotta break this down so that they can understand. Now, anytime when we read in the New Testament and it's saying by the law, it's referring us back to the Torah, to the Old Testament. And the book of the law is referring to it. So read it again and read it slow.
For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth.
Stop. So this verse right here is pointing you right back to Deuteronomy, the 24th chapter. She's bound by the Lord to that man as long as he lives. So even if he divorced her, see, this is what most people misconstrue. If he divorced her, if he puts her away, she still can't go and take a husband. You understand? She can't take another husband. Read.
But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband.
So the only thing that frees her from that law so she can marry someone else is that husband dies. She could go back to her mother's house, her father's house. She's not supposed to get with another man. Who got 1 Corinthians 7 verse 39?
I got it. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will.
See that?
Only in the Lord.
Only in the Lord. So that means if she remarry, it has to be a man that's the Israelite. That's why it's saying only in the Lord. It has to be a man that's keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, meaning she's not supposed to go and marry a worldly Negro. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'll show you how they game say. So this is the that Deuteronomy 24th chapter is what a lot of wicked Israelites like to tell the sister, oh, you could go and remarry. You could go and get remarried, right? That's the scripture that both of these precepts we just read is pointing us back to. So now here come the Pharisees. Let's check them out. Someone get Matthew, the 19th chapter. Start reading that verse, either 5 or 6.
This book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 5. And said, so like I can start at 3.
All right.
Book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Mm-hmm.
And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh? Verse 6, wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore Yahweh hath joined together, let not man put asunder.
So what is Amashiach saying to Pharisees? He's saying the only reason that Moses put that there is because you was really wicked. But he took him back to the beginning, to Genesis. He says from the beginning, it wasn't so. From the beginning, you couldn't just put her away because you got upset with her. So now, if you're a believer in the Hamashiach, who are you going to listen to? The Pharisees or Christ? Who's the Savior? The Pharisees or Christ? From there, let's go to Mark 16, verse 14.
Mark chapter.
It's book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 14. Afterward, he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them with their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen.
So a lot of these people have a hardness of heart. That's why Moses permitted these people to, hey, you could divorce it. But Hamashiach said, hey, from the beginning, it wasn't so. Now the sister says something that gives her mercy, really, because when she married this dude, she wasn't in the truth. He committed adultery, because this pretty much applies to every woman, right? Because most of these Eve, unless you got a virgin, they doing the same. They're in the same situation that she's in now, but it sounds like she has a government marriage with him, right? So unless you had a woman that's a virgin, they all have committed adultery, right? Because they was with another man prior to you. Now, she knows, and this guy knows. I don't know. Hamashiach knows. Now, if she didn't know about these laws when she had married that guy and he divorced her and she wants to get divorced, that's where mercy comes in, right? Because she didn't have the knowledge.
Azadok, if you don't mind me correcting, he's not the one that divorced me. I divorced him. I petitioned for it.
Yeah. So I get that, but under the law, under the laws of the Most High, a woman can't divorce a man, right? He has to put her away. There's nowhere in the scriptures that a woman could actually divorce a man. Well, we know that you had like a worldly divorce, right? But what I'm saying, right? If you initiated the divorce, right? So let's say you divorced him, but if you divorced him and you knew these laws at this time, then the Most High this would apply to you. Take for example, right? If my wife was with another man before she met me, and she didn't know about, hey, if I sleep with this man, even if I'm not physically married in the system, that man is supposed to be her husband. But let's say he was wicked, right? That doesn't apply. She didn't know. He may not even have known, right? So that's where the mercy of a Mashiach comes in. I'll use for an example, Mary Magdalene, right? The punishment for that adultery was death. But Hamashiach said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone, right? So he spared her, but he also said, go your way, woman, and sin no more. So if we don't know these laws, right? Let's say another sister, right? That knows this, right? Let's say another sister that knows this. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I put my wife away. She goes out and she goes out and sleep with another man. Her punishment is death. There's no kingdom for her, not according to the Bible, because the Lord says unless I'm dead, because she knew, because I teach her that. You see what I'm saying? But if you didn't know, no one didn't teach you that, mercy comes in. So that's why the Most High says that this war won't end until the truth has spread it throughout the world, then the end shall come. Because everyone has to have an opportunity to know the truth. So when they go before the judgment, they can't say, hey, I didn't know. So what the Lord is saying by doing that is that someone has to actually come in your life and teach you the truth. Then he could judge you, right? He can't judge me for not keeping the Shabbat if I didn't know. It doesn't work like it works in Esau's society. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. No, I didn't know. So the mercy of a Mashiach comes in. That was his purpose for coming to the world, so that we can have mercy. But we're supposed to get it right the second time around. So the short answer is, if you didn't know when you was with this guy that, hey, if I lay with this dude, no matter how wicked he is, right? You can't be with another man. But now that you know, if you go out and you marry someone else, let's say he commits adultery on him. He commits adultery on you. If he divorced you, you still can't go and be with another man, because now you know. That's what the Lord said. That's what the scriptures are saying. That's what Paul just said in Romans 7:2 and in 1 Corinthians 7:39. That's what the Lord said.
Can I say this?
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, just not to be vulgar or nothing, but the Most High didn't make the daughters of Zion to be passed around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, you didn't know, you know, Most High forgive you for that. You praise the Most High, forgive you for that, and then you go and sin no more.
Yeah, it's not just her, it's every woman on this call.
Right.
Unless every woman on this call could say that she's a virgin, they're guilty of it too. And you got to repent. You understand what I'm saying? Because the man that you're with is not your first husband. You committed adultery and you got to repent. You understand? So, and so the men, you got to, you know, it's your responsibility to teach your daughters. You don't go lay down and spread your quiver, because you're going to be stuck with him. That's why it's very important to make sure a woman doesn't get with a wicked man. Because what Paul just stated, and notice when Paul says it, he says, in the law, as it says in the law, that's referring you right back to the Old Testaments, to the Torah. I'm pretty sure everyone could see that. Some people might not want to see it. Like, damn, Tazadar, are you serious? That's what it said, man. We read it.
And like you said, you know, that what they teach out there in Israel, you know, and especially like I said, they run the Deuteronomy, which We say may, but going back, like you said, going into the Sprit, that's not what it's saying.
Right.
That's not at all what it's saying. And so they teaching, oh, you can just put her away, write a bill of divorcement, and she can go be somebody else's husband. That's whoredom.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Did the sister say that her husband was a Gentile or Samoan or something like that? And
she said
how
he
would
was
that
a Samoan.
apply? And how would that apply to?
Yeah, I did say that his I guess you could say his lineage comes from the Maui Samoan.
Right, but here's the thing with that. Before you say that, like I'd be real careful with that now, because remember, we got dispersed through all corners of the world, right? So we got brothers and sisters in Africa, right? We got brothers and sisters in England and London. I can't hear you. Okay.
Right. That's ham.
Right. Yeah, we can't really say that's ham unless we know their descendancy. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Y'all couldn't hear what you were saying, Zadok. You went mute.
Oh no, I just was asking how would that apply to, I guess, brothers and sisters that may have, I guess, a husband or a wife that may be a Gentile. Like I heard her say that Samoan thing in the beginning. I want to see how that applied to her divorcing him or whatever. A sister that maybe have been married to a Gentile and divorcing the Gentile or whatever.
Right. So again, here's the thing, right? Like during the diaspora, right? The children, and so that's that one West stuff, right? Just because someone might be in Africa, it doesn't mean that's not our people. You understand what I'm saying? We have to really trace their descendancy, right? So she would have to trace the seed line of his father. And the spirit, the spirit is supposed to be a witness, but I mean, they take that and they run with it, right? Because you be seeing Esau and the spirit bear witness. He couldn't rap like that if he's not an Israelite.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? So the correct thing to do, man, is to sit down and trace his descendancy. Because like the old me would have been like, nah, sis, yeah, you could put him away. He's a Hamite. You know what I mean? But the wise in me be like, the scriptures say we got scattered through the four corners of the world. So you got Israelites in China. You know what I mean? If they're of a Negroid descent, you got Israelites in Japan. If they're of a Negroid descent, go and read J.A. Rogers' book. In fact, the first people that inhabited those lands was melanated.
Are you talking about Sex and Race?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I have those 3 volumes. Amazing work.
Right.
Should be in every brother's library.
Right. Yep. And a lot of people are not aware of that. So you got to be very cautious, like, and especially particularly how some people look. Because my ex, people used to be, oh man, you married to an Edomite. You're married to an Edomite. And that damn dad was blacker than Wesley Snipes. And her mom, her mom was maybe a little browner than me. But some reason she came out, probably your complexion a little lighter. So you can't always go by that. But that's why it's good to really trace the descendancy. Yeah, man. But I mean, not just that sister, every sister on the call, that's how it's supposed to apply, man. And if you haven't repented, you're supposed to repent and not sin anymore, man. And the Lord will bestow blessings on you. And you got to try to raise modest daughters. Modest daughters is not going to go out and give themselves away to just anyone. That's how it should be. It's hard, you know what I mean? That's why the scriptures say, broad is the way that leads to destruction, but that's straight and narrow, man. It's hard to stay on that path. And when people start swaying, they start going off again. They start making bad decisions. You're not hanging around people that's in the truth. You start hanging with your old buddy. Before you know it, he doesn't talk you into going to the strip club. And you start enjoying it. Damn. It's time to duck. I'm going to pick up. Man, I had a brother literally tell me that, man. I had a brother that literally told me, he admitted it later, man. He avoided me for months, man. I would call him, he's not picking up. And he said, damn, man, I gotta tell you the truth, man. I was sinning. I was sinning. Doing your thing. I knew something was going on, man. And you know what? Most of the time, man, 9 times, it's always because of a woman. It was a woman that he had got in his life, and the woman was telling him, I'm not an Israelite. I'm not going to be an Israelite. I'm never going to cover my hair. I'm never going to do any of that thing. So he made a choice. Guess what he chose? He chose the woman. Then, when she ended up leaving him, he came back like the prodigal son. Seriously, he came back like the prodigal son, man. Yeah, man, I messed up. All right, brother. That's between you and the Most High, man. You got to deal with it. Never seems to fail, man. Women has a powerful, powerful, powerful effect on men, man. Very powerful. Look at the strong men in the Bible that was brought down by a woman. You know, not to ridicule women or anything, but it's just facts, man. Big facts.
Sisters that's trying to, resemble the Proverbs 31. All praises. It's not, don't go out. It's not for you. This message is not for you. But I digress.
What's her name? Kimberly. What was you saying? Help you get a copy of what now? Who are you talking to there? Like we just
I was referring to Collatter. Is it, how you say your name? I'm so sorry. Mr. Mensa. He was mentioning the book.
Oh, Sex and Race?
Yes.
Oh, J.A. Rogers. Oh, yeah.
I was saying, help me get a copy of that.
You can just order it online for Amazon.
You can get it from Amazon.
Yeah, that's the
There might
problem.
be some PDF copies.
That fiat is kind of scarce on my end, so I gotta be careful.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably you might be able to find a cyber version, like you said. Volume 1 is the best volume to me, man.
Yep.
Lays
the groundwork.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other one, a good one by him is Nature Knows No Color Line. Hey, do you have that one? That's a good one to have also.
No, I don't have any of those.
Oh no, I don't mean you. I mean him.
Oh, my bad.
Nature Has No Cover.
Yeah, Nature Knows No Color Line. That's another good one by J.A. Rogers.
I didn't get that I didn't get that one yet.
That's a good one also, man.
All right,
I used that one in a lot of my videos. I was actually using those books, man, because they have a lot of ancient artifacts, man.
Yeah, the guy did some amazing work. In fact, it's a rendering of history that you will not find in any upper or most competitive institution. It's suppressed, as you know.
Right.
And it's suppressed on purpose because, like most truth in this world, it's suppressed for obvious reasons. But it's just an amazing piece of work. I try to describe the book to people, and they're like, you got to read it.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they like him. His wife was a Euro Gentile.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I done some. I always research everything, man. I do thorough research on everyone, man. When I check something out, I try and go to an extreme, find everything out. Yeah. Like, he has a book called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, you see how the people that wear the Ku Klux Klan hats.
Yeah, it comes from the Alumbrados in Spain.
Yeah. That came from a black fraternity.
They were Moorish.
Yeah, they emulating black. I mean, well, they don't like to be called black, but they're emulating Moorish people, man, which was actually kind of like a secret society.
It was a secret. It was the Illuminati. It was a Illuminati. In fact, Ignacio Loyola was a member of the Alumbrados. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
when you see Ku Klux Klan walking around in that's where they got it from. White cone hats, white cone suits, white sheets, all of that. Same outfit that they put on. Amazing.
Yeah, the precursor to the clan was the Knights of the Golden Circle, and then it merged into the clan.
Right. Yeah, they started that after the Civil War. A few guys decided to get together, man, and people started to be what we call it, Reconstruction. A lot of so-called Negroes started to be really prominent, and so a lot of Southern whites. What a lot of people don't know, though, is one of the first chapters of the Klan was actually in New Jersey, not down south.
They were still strong in southern New Jersey. Trust me. I was in Cape May maybe a while back, and there was they're very strong in Cape May County, New Jersey.
I'm not surprised, man. What
Hello,
happened?
the Mason Dixon.
Yeah. Yashabim, you still on the line?
Con.
All right. Anyone else got anything, man? I guess I could eat a salad now, man. I've been just like eating dates all day. Anyone else? If not,
I have
man,
one precept I wanted to bring out a while ago. I ain't gonna bring it out.
it is, man. Joanna, what's going on, man?
What up,
I know that
though?
voice anywhere.
That's real. I think it was Sirach 9 and 24, 19 and 24.
Yeah, bring it out, brother.
All right, let me go find it real quick.
Someone want to grab it for him? Trying to put this brother's number in my phone, man. Reginald, where you at, brother?
All right, I have it.
All right.
This was dealing with when you first brought out with the original topic about the adultery in Israel and speaking on with the elders that keep going. And this was Sirach 19:24. The knowledge of oh no, that ain't right. He that have small understanding and fear of God is better than one that haveth much wisdom and transgresses the law of the Most High.
Con. Yeah, that's kind of comparing them to the Pharisees, man. So he said a man that has little understanding, yet he feared the Most High, is better than someone that has a lot of knowledge, like the Pharisees, and don't even obey. That's a good precept, man. Yeah, you got to be safe over there, Joanna, man. In Detroit.
All the major black cities, even small ones.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. And they don't know how to answer back to that, man. They didn't know how to answer that when they got put on the spot. They didn't know how to respond to that. So yeah, I guess we could actually bring it to a close. Thank everyone for tuning in. I would say fast and pray, man. And make sure that your brothers are taken care of. I actually put a link in the room yesterday that says if anyone need anything, man. But I think one person responded. That was Terrence from Texas. He's not on the call right now. Hey, Yashabim, whatever happened to Terrence C?
I don't know. I guess he's just, hanging around. He's probably on YouTube just watching.
Nah, I don't see him on YouTube, man.
He's the dude, Zara.
Oh, yeah. Keep forgetting that, man. Why you think he changed it like that, man? What?
We actually went over that, like, before he fell out. Because he was basically, he made it seem like to me that, he wanted to, fully transfer over and, come up with his own name, according to how he saw himself in the spirit. And that's how he came up with that. But he ain't ever bring it to the
he hasn't been back around, man. Remember he was talking a little slick, man. I had to remove him from the group.
Yeah, he fell way out. I don't even know what that's about.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not on this call right here today though, man. I just scanned down the message, man. The undercover agent, man. Curefoot's on here. Illuminati guy.
Yeah, I seen him.
Yeah.
I heard my name. I'm sorry.
No.
No, okay,
No, we never mentioned you.
okay, sorry.
No, we was talking about Terrence. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it, man. Celicia, one of the sisters should reach out to her and see what's going on with her, man. She be hot and she's cold, man. She was in and out, man. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, man, we could go ahead and end it, man. We thank everyone for tuning in. You know, may the Most High, bless and watch over you. But I still think, man, just in case, man, people, we need to have a contingency plan, have something together, man, like a location if SHTF will know somewhere to have like an objective rally point, right? A bug out resort. He who fells the plan plans to fail. You can take that as a joke if you want to.
Hey, excuse me, but I just want to let you know I needed to talk to you like personally, like give me a call or something, or can I give you a call?
Yeah. Who's that?
It's Quantus.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I hit you up, brother. All right, I hit you up after this, man. Anyone else got anything, man?
Hey, Todd, give me your email address so I can email you. This is Wazir, so I can stay in touch with you, man.
All right. Hold on. Let me put that in the room, man. Hey, Wazir, can you see that in the room? The group chat?
Yeah, I got you. I got it. All right. Ready now.
All right. So, yeah. So we're going to say shalom, man. Thank everyone for tuning in, man. Most High in Christ bless.